And a good evening to you from Open Space Park in Sioux Center, Iowa, as we get set for Great Plains Athletic Conference football between the Dordt Defenders and the Morningside Mustangs. The Dordt Defenders come into today's contest off a win over the Briarcliff Chargers, while the Morningside Mustangs victorious last week over the Northwestern Red Raiders in Great Plains Athletic Conference competition. You're listening to the Wireless World pregame show. Coming up after a 1-minute break, we will check in with Corey Westra and the GPAC football report for this Saturday. You're listening to the Dordt Media Network and the Wireless World pregame show. Back with the GPAC report right after this.
This is the GPAC Football Saturday Report for Saturday, September 10. Brought to you by the Great Plains Athletic Conference. To learn more, go to gpacsports.com or on Twitter at gpacsports. On your week number 2 GPAC Football Saturday Report, we begin with the scoreboard from week 1 last Saturday around the conference. Number 21, Dordt was a winner over Briarcliff in Sioux City, 35-13. Midland wins at home over Hastings 14-10 for the Watcher McLaughlin Trophy. Jamestown a home winner over Dakota Wesleyan 34-30. Doane in Crete last Saturday night defeated Concordia 12-10. And a matchup in Sioux City last Saturday night saw number 1 Morningside over number 3 Northwestern by the final score of 30-29. Mount Marty had the bye for week number 1 of GPAC football. Here's your Hoffman America Sports Football Players of the Week then from week number 1. On offense, Joe Dolenchek, cornerback from Morningside University. The senior from Bellevue, Nebraska, was 27 for 35, throwing for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns in Morningside's win over Northwestern. Isaac Pingle, linebacker from Morningside, is the Defensive Player of the Week. The junior from Spencer, Iowa, led the Mustang defense. He had 11 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and also had a safety. And on special teams, Kellen Meyer from Doane takes the honor. Meyer, a freshman from Ord, Nebraska, tied the school record for Doane with 4 field goals on Saturday night in the Tiger win against Concordia. That's a look back at last week around the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Coming up after the break, we'll preview week 2 of GPAC football. The GPAC Football Saturday Report rolls on right after this. The Great Plains Athletic Conference is an affiliated conference of the NAIA. Founded in 2000, the GPAC is proud of our academic and athletic excellence. The GPAC is home to 34 NAIA national champions and boasts over 750 NAIA scholar athletes annually. To find out more about the GPAC, give us a follow on Twitter at GPAC Sports or on the web at gpacsports.com. Welcome back to week number 2 of GPAC football. Let's take a look at the matchups for this Saturday around the conference. There are 4 afternoon games and 1 game will be played under the lights. We start in Orange City, where number 3 Northwestern will host Dakota Wesleyan. Midland travels to Doane to take on the Tigers. Briarcliff will host Jamestown at Memorial Field in Sioux City. And Mount Marty will have their first conference game of the year. The Lancers travel to Hastings to take on the Broncos. Those 4 games will all kick off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Under the lights in Sioux Center on Saturday night, number 21 Dordt will host number 1
Well, let's continue
Morningside.
on with our pregame
There is
show
not
as
a
the
new
Dordt
ranking
defenders
this week
take
for
on
NAIA football, so last week's rankings hold true. Morningside is number 1 in the country, with Grandview at number 2. Northwestern is ranked 3rd. Lindsey Wilson is 4. Marion of Indiana is 5. Concordia, Michigan 6. Kaiser 7. Southwestern Kansas 8. Reinhardt is ranked 9th, and Ottawa out of Arizona is ranked number 10. A new football rating will come out after this weekend's games. For the updated standings for GPAC football, go to our website at gpacsports.com. Also, give us a follow on Twitter. We are at GPAC Sports. You can get all the players of the week in all our fall sports on our website at this time, as we are now fully into our fall athletic season. This has been your GPAC Football Saturday Report for week number 2, Saturday, September 10. I'm Corey Westra for the Great Plains Athletic Conference.
We wanted to find a community that had a great heart with activities. We have 2 little boys we want to see grow and find things for them to do. And we wanted to see a community that just felt vibrant and thriving.
All the people I know from Sioux Center, even from around town, very nice actually, very nice people.
We have things that people are drawn to. That's why people like to come to Sioux Center. Shop, live, buy the works.
It's very peaceful, very secure, I'll say secure place. I love it.
The people of Sioux Center they're very kind. They really have a caring spirit towards their community. You'll see that on every level, whether it's on the football game on Friday night or the band competitions on Saturday afternoon. They just have a level of passion for their community.
Back to Open Space Park in Sioux Center. The Dordt defenders taking on Morningside. Great Plains Athletic Conference action. And the Morningside Mustangs victorious last week over Northwestern. We're going to talk with Coach Steve Ryan, Morningside head coach, about that contest and about this team. Let's go now to that interview with Coach Steve Ryan on the Wireless World pregame show. As we continue on with our look at the matchup between the Dordt defenders and the Morningside Mustangs, we will visit with Coach Steve Ryan, Dordt Morningside head football coach. Sorry about that, Coach. Coming off a win over the Northwestern Red Raiders on Saturday night. And Coach Ryan, congratulations. Great start to the season for your team, getting a win at home. And now you've got to prep for another big contest. Stressful for a coaching staff, or is this part of the job that you look forward to?
I think it's part of the job that you look forward to, but without question, we're just right out of the gate in terms of playing 2 outstanding football teams.
Tell me about the game. First of all, on Saturday night, offensively, you're able to get 30 points on the board, and you end up with Joe Dolenchek having a Joe Dolenchek type game. 351 yards passing, 27 of 35 through the air, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. What does he bring to your team this year that can't be replaced so easily?
Well, I think, one is he just brings a lot of experience. This is his 4th year starting, so he's probably got 38, 39 starts under his belt. So there's not many things that you can kind of throw at him that he hasn't at least seen to some degree, and there's not many game situations he hasn't been in and gone through. So the experience, and he's an accurate thrower. He does a good job of getting rid of the ball.
How do you keep it? It's an interesting thing. 4th year as a starter. How do you keep it fresh with a player like that? Because we all realize that there's a shelf life in terms of a player and a coach and how they get along and all those kind of things. How do you keep that fresh with a 4-year starter like that?
Yeah. So, what you're saying is really true. You've got guys that are back for their 5th year, or in some regards what we would talk about as being their COVID year in these situations. And, when guys come back for their 5th year, they're usually, outstanding years or they're disappointing years. And a lot of that has to do with just how they, how fresh or how they view things. The big thing about Joe, and this is what can make him at times difficult, challenging to coach, but also allows him to keep things fresh and getting going. Is he's just a competitor, so he loves competing. He loves playing football, and just loves to practice. And so because of those things, he's still extremely coachable and still growing as a player and still just enjoying playing the game.
He makes things go on the offensive side of the football. Defensively, looks like Isaac Pengel had a great game against Northwestern. Is he the equivalent on the defensive side of the football for your team?
I don't know about that, but just because Isaac's just a younger player. So I think we've got some nice, veteran players. What Isaac is he's got great big play ability. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, and has the ability to make plays. And, the 2 plays that he made in the game against Northwestern, one, the sack, which is the 2 points we end up winning by, and then the fourth down sack. I mean, those were just incredible plays. So in many ways, he might be the most dynamic player we have on defense, but just kind of a different situation. A lot of it just has to do with age. But we're excited about hopefully having a lot of great years of having Isaac Pengel.
Our time is limited here, so we're going to dive right in. You and Dordt, your team and Dordt's team have had tremendous contests over the past 2 seasons. What has allowed you to get those 2 victories in relatively tight games the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, the last 2 years have been phenomenal games. I would say Dordt was the best football team that we played last year, or at least definitely the most challenging game. And I would probably turn around and say the same thing for 2020. And really, it's come down to 3 or 4 plays at the end of the game, and fortunately, we've been able to make those plays. So, but really, it's just 3 or 4 plays.
What do you see as you prep for this game? You've got 1 game of film now with Dordt versus Briarcliff. What do you see that concerns you heading into this contest?
I think they play outstanding defense. Their defensive line and their offensive line are really good, and they have been for some time, and they're playing great football up front.
It's Coach Steve Ryan. We'll be back with more on our pregame show right after this.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection, connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications, looking ahead.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
That was Coach Steve Ryan of the Morningside Mustangs. Let's go now to Coach Joel Penner as he takes a look back at last week's game with Briarcliff and a look ahead to this evening's contest. Here's Joel Penner. Let's talk with Joel Penner as the Dordt football team prepares for the Morningside Mustangs, Great Plains Athletic Conference action. And you got your feet wet last week with Briarcliff, Coach Penner, and we will talk about that a little bit. But the difference between week 1 and week 2 in terms of preparation, what are things more clear after week 1, or do you end up with more questions after week 1?
Yeah, I think I went into the season feeling like there were so many question marks. How are we going to adapt to some of our new players at new positions? How are they going to adapt? What is going to be the confidence level of this group? It's such a new group from last year, and I think week 1 really was awesome because it revealed a lot about where we're at. It revealed a lot about how we can get better. And then I think when you go into preparations from week 1 to week 2, you see such big jumps because now you actually have real game film to go over. I mean, before it was practice film every single day that we would correct and review and highlight what we're doing well. And now it's actually, no, this is what we actually did in a game in a competitive setting against another team. And so I think it's been a really good week because we were able to review a game. And I think a lot of questions were answered and we just had a really focused week because we know where we're at right now. So.
Is the game film that much more valuable because you're actually playing someone who's making adjustments and trying their best to stop what you are trying to do, and your players have to adapt and change? Completely.
And I think there's so many, you make so many efforts to create a game-like feel in practice, but you no matter what you do, you really can't create the psychological pressure cooker of a college football game in practice. You can get close, and we try our best, but what happens to a player when it's a game? And I think we saw some of that, and we saw guys who were ready to go immediately, and then we saw some guys that needed to settle in and catch their breath and remind themselves they know how to play football, and we did that, and then we were just fine. Some would say pregame jitters. I think those were present with some of our guys, which is pretty normal week 1. But I think it was helpful because it revealed that. And then it was also helpful because I saw some of those same guys recover from that quite well and just settle in and play great football. What did you see that you liked on Saturday? Let's begin with that. What do you see that you liked on Saturday? Well, Mike, I've been doing this for 22 years, and I don't know that I've ever coached in a football game where our defense held an opponent to negative rushing yards. Right. And that to me it was incredible. And I just couldn't be more excited. Coach McCormick's first ever game that he's called, that that was a big point of emphasis for our off season, was that we were going to need to be better against the run. And man, what an awesome effort by our defense. I think that was the first thing that I saw. I was very also excited to see in the second half our offense really begin to click. We were finally connecting in the pass game. We were following our rules on our assignments, and it was just a much cleaner second half. And so it's good to know that you have a team that when they're kind of in a hole, so to speak, they can dig themselves out and not fold. They really responded well. That's the one side of the coin. Now we flip it over. What do you see that needs some work heading into Morningside? Well, I think there was some items in our passing game offensively that just weren't crisp. It's not that we weren't open or in the right position. It's that our timing was off, and things that were uncharacteristically happening to us. Were happening on Saturday. Were not happening in practice, and so we really got to address our timing in our passing game. I think that'll be much better this week. I also don't like turnovers, and we had a first half turnover. Obviously, that's something we take a look at, and we spend a lot of time just making sure we're sound on that. So overall, there's always plenty of things. I mean, each position coach is going to have his top 3 fix-its, we call them. Yep. And we attack those on Monday, and each coach did a great job this week. I think being essential. We're not going to try to fix everything. I mean, coaches can be overly critical sometimes, and we try to be essentialists when it comes to not everything that needs to be done better, but what top 3 things must be done better. And each position kind of had their own top 3, and we attacked them well this week. Morningside comes in Saturday night. They're coming off the win over Northwestern, 30-29, and Morningside. I take a look at the box score, and obviously it begins with a very good quarterback, very good offensive line. They didn't have the rushing yards against Northwestern that we've become accustomed to, but they got it done through the air on offense. What do you see when you look at this Morningside team? Yeah, I mean they're a championship program. There's no question. They know how to win tight ball games. They've just been they've been reigning champs in the GPAC for a long time, and even at the national level. So That's what I see when I watch the film. They're no different in that regard. They have a right hand on offense, dominant right hand, which is their ability to drop back and put the ball anywhere they want on the field. Quarterback play, fifth-year senior, just incredible how well he runs their system. So comfortable doing it, and that they haven't missed a beat. They've got for sure 4 wide receivers that are all conference candidates, and then they have 2 tight ends who probably could be in that category as well. So if you're looking for a weakness in a position group on offense, you probably don't see it in them. So they just do a very, very good job. And then defensively, they're just very aggressive. They do an awesome job of freeing their players up on defense just to do their assignment and trust one another. And they've made really good roster moves when it comes to moving guys up. Guys that were DBs play linebacker. Guys that were linebackers are now playing D-line. And so they're fast, really fast and physical on defense, and they just do a great job developing. And so it's the same kind of Morningside championship program, I think, this week. And they were challenged last week for sure, and we hope and believe they'll be challenged in this one as well.
Saturday night comes around. You talk about in preparation for your week that each position group has those 3 items that you focus in on. I'd imagine it's much the same as you prepare for a game. There's a limited number of items that you need to focus on. What are those items this week as you face Morningside?
We call them bullets, actually. We have a name for those. I think our approach as coaches is we look at our let's say we have a revolver, and there's only so many chambers
Yep.
for those bullets to go in, and if you have too many bullets, your chamber can't hold that, and it's not going to go well. And so we try to figure out what that is, and that's true for offense, defense, and special teams. We've been very intentional in our preparation for this game to have the appropriate number of bullets ready, and we have to execute those well. When it comes to our offense, we will not be successful if we're one-dimensional. You don't beat Morningside in one phase, either the run game or the pass game. You can only score on this very talented defense if you are balanced and have the ability to connect in the passing game and also move the chains in the running game. And then on defense, it's I don't think go into the game saying, hey, we're going to shut this offense down. You just have to limit their scoring. You have to limit the explosive plays. If they score, we want it to be a 10, 12-play drive, not a 3 or a 2 or a 1-play drive. And that's where they really get you, is they could be behind the chains, 2nd and 12s, 3rd and long, and hit you big, and that's it. And we just have to make them work for everything.
Football play. The Dordt defenders have taken the field, and the Morningside Mustangs on the way as well, as we get all of our levels set for this contest. And we've added to the complexity of things a little bit. And I'm joined by Kyle Achterhoff once again. And Kyle sat out last Saturday, and as the defenders took on the Briarcliff Chargers, really missed you last Saturday, Kyle. Hope you enjoyed the Saturday off.
It was a nice day. Yes, it was a good Saturday off, but I missed being there in Sioux City and watching the defenders play their opening game. But I'm excited about tonight and the opportunity that lies ahead.
Here, I thought you were going to say you missed me, but
well,
not really.
I
guess.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
GPAC football so far today. Before we take a look at this matchup, Northwestern beat Dakota Wesleyan 54-7. Midland over Doane 20-6. Briarcliff 31-25 over Jamestown. That didn't surprise me after watching Briarcliff last week. I thought maybe their depth was going to be an issue. They were able to hold that off. Depth isn't an issue today. 31-25 a winner, and not nearly as hot today as it was last week. And Hastings a winner over Mount Marty 45-20. So that means there are 3 winless teams in the conference in conference play, and 2 that are winless overall. Concordia had the day off today. They're 0-1. Dakota Wesleyan's 0-2. Midland sits at 2-0 and 3-0 for their start. And I guess as we look at the conference as a whole, Kyle, not a big surprise given the schedule to begin. Midland doing what they should do, and they're a team that figures to be in that hunt for 2, 3, 4 spot.
Yeah, exactly. They've been right up there close the last few years, and experienced veteran coaching staff that are looking to build something long term. So it's not surprising that Midland team is doing well to start. But yeah, like you said, they probably haven't played the top tier of the league yet, but they will eventually.
Dordt's scheduled to play them at the end of the season, actually week 10 of the conference season, week 11 overall, I believe, as the Defenders will face the Midland Warriors in GPAC play at Fremont. I believe we are just about set for the national anthem. Still might be a minute or so away from that, and I'd like to get a little closer so we can take our break, because that's always such an awkward thing. Do we get the national anthem or not? Very briefly, until we get that announcement, very briefly, Morningside Mustangs victorious last week over Northwestern. A game that, for them, that has indicated, or that's been a big predicator of who is going to be the GPAC champion, and they took care of what they needed to in that contest.
Yeah, kind of an odd way to start the year, right? The two teams that are supposedly supposed to be at the top of the league to start, but a lot of season to play.
We will take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with more on our pregame show right after this.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
And we're back at Open Space Park, and we've got the national anthem all taken care of, and we'll get to kickoff in just a little bit as well. And Kyle Achterhoff, you were talking about that opener for the Morningside Mustangs, for the Dordt Defenders as well, taking on a Briarcliff team. When that Morningside game, you can say all you want about not looking past, but it's looming, and the guys all know that. And Briarcliff, probably not the start that the Defenders wanted in terms of putting points on the board, but still a lot of good things happened in that contest.
Yeah, and they took care of the main thing, came away with the win, but you never know with that first game of the season. The speed changes. You know, you can practice all you want. You can simulate game speed as much as you want during fall camp, but until you strap it on a Saturday against a college football team, you don't realize the speed. And so just adjusting to that. Briarcliff's second game of the year last week, so they had one under their belt. often talked about the amount of improvement that a team makes between week 1 and week 2 because of that adjustment. And hopefully we see that today.
Morningside Mustangs, you had the opportunity to watch them in person last week. What do you see from them?
Yeah, it's pretty much the typical Morningside football team. Great at the quarterback position. When you have an experienced guy like Dolanchek back and just a quality football player, he probably doesn't have the one go-to weapon that he had a year ago in Juergensmeyer, but still he's got a number of weapons. So he spreads the ball out around a little bit more than maybe he has in the past. At least he did last week. And yeah, they're just solid on both sides of the football, and obviously very well coached.
I think they had 4 receivers with multiple catches, another 4 with a single catch each. They didn't run the ball quite as well as we are accustomed to seeing a Morningside team run. And I mean, my goodness, you take a look back at the stable of running backs that they typically have. They usually have that guy that you can pencil in for 1,200 yards a year. I'm not sure they have that here this season, but they've got an awfully good offensive line. I wouldn't put anything past them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think the guy that they have starting, Ryan Cole, was, maybe 16 attempts a week ago. I think he was the only ball carrier other than the quarterback. And, yeah, he just didn't ever really get an opportunity to break anything big, so his numbers weren't great. It's always deceiving, right? Because, again, second week of the season, you don't know how your offensive line is meshing up, and maybe they concentrate a little bit more on pass protection than run blocking early on. Who knows? So it's tough to say a whole lot about that, but it didn't look like they had quite the dynamic player that they've had in the past.
Ethan Thomas and Evan Jordahl back to receive for the Dordt defenders, and it's towards the sideline. They kick it at Jordahl. He takes it to the 10 to the 15, and he is wrapped up at the 12-yard line, and that is where Dordt will start. First down and 10 at their own 12, and the Morningside Mustang defense will come onto the field. And for the Dordt offense, they are led by their quarterback, Cade McDaniel. Cade, running that triple option out of the shotgun last week. Modest numbers, 9 of 21 passing, 184 yards, 13 rushes for 40 yards, and it looks like the defenders will have Nick Wellen in the backfield, so Nick Wellen getting the start for the second week in a row. They hand it off to Hayden Large. Large on the end around, maybe picks up 2 yards on the play as they give it to the tight end, and the Dordt defenders with a second down and long situation on the way. So a couple of yard pickup on the play, and the defenders a little misdirection to try and start things off. McDaniel in the gun. 2 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. McDaniel motions from right to left. Fake the handoff, throw it out wide to Thomas. Thomas the ball with the catch, and he fights his way forward to the 23-yard line. And the defenders now facing 3rd down and medium, 3rd down and 4 for Dordt as they try to get it to Thomas, and not enough room to make a big play, but picks up 4 or 5 yards on it.
Yeah, and Thomas had the big 2 touchdown receptions a week ago, and a dynamic player, somebody they want to get the ball in the hands of and make it just a long handoff by throwing it out to him wide.
3rd down and long or 3rd down and medium, we'll call it. I've got it as 3rd and 4. Clock stops as they take a look at one of the down markers malfunctioning. That's the one on the Dordt side of the field. And actually, I think they must have to reverse it. Not quite certain. But they swapped down markers, and right now the one on the Dordt that was handed to one of our faithful chain gang members malfunctioning, and they'll hustle it over and try to get that working. You can do all the checking that you want, but you still, and that first home game, there's a lot of things that come up, believe you me. McDaniel with the ball, pass, complete, and that's a Dordt first down as he delivers it to Hayden Large. So Hayden Large with the reception, and the Dordt defenders with a first down.
Yeah, and you could see Coach Penner just drawing some things up here to start to get Cade into the ball game. A couple nice, easy throws. And converted on both of them for a first down here.
And in both of those instances, he had trouble making that pass last week. And now McDaniel mishandles the snap. It was over his head, going to make something out of nothing. And where it could have been a big loss, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, plus 2 yards as he scrambles for a couple of yards, and that could have been disastrous. Didn't lose his cool, picks it up, and gets 2 yards.
Yeah, that's one that sometimes gets kicked around in the backfield, and bad things happen, but you mentioned it. Cade kept his cool, took care of the ball, and made a positive play out of it.
In those situations, the worst thing you want is a 7-yard loss. I mean, that's you're willing to take that because you live to play another couple downs. He's able to scoop it up and get a couple of yards back. Rolling out left, pass is incomplete, intended for Eli Bolden, and that will bring up 3rd down. And Eli Bolden still searching for his first catch of the 2022 season. And he didn't get targeted much last week, and they try a little out pass to him, get him going there, and that was in and out of the hands, and that sets up 3rd down and long for the defenders with 13:02 remaining here in the first quarter. McDaniel has Wellen behind him. Dordt has gone almost exclusively with a pass here to start. It's 3rd down and 9. Obvious passing situation here. Josh Warner is lined up wide to the right for the defenders. Motioning out of the backfield is Wellen. Back to pass. Over the top. He's got Large, and pass is incomplete. Hayden Large gives that a good go. He was matched up against Linnell Boyd, and Linnell Boyd able to get just enough of Hayden Large. He gave away several inches in height, but Large very nearly ran under that one to make the catch, and Boyd breaks it up.
Yeah, and you make a good point there, Mike, just with the size difference. We might be seeing that route or something similar against with that kind of matchup later in the game, because we like our odds in that situation.
Boyd listed at 5'10", Hayden Large at 6'4". Snap back to Coons, left-footed kick, a spiraling kick, taken at the 34-yard line to the 35 and brought down at the 37-yard line. In on the stop for the Dordt special teams, I have Dan Jungling hustling down to make the play, along with Tanner Milliken. So we'll get our first look at the Morningside offense and the Dordt defense here on the change of possession. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line for the Mustangs. The Dordt defense, they'll go with 4 linemen. Colton Vanderberg on the far side. He's the right defensive end. Drew Dahm is the left defensive end. Back to pass is Dowlencheck. He's going to take a shot down the field. Pass is incomplete, just a bit underthrown, intended for Zach Norton in Morningside. My experience with Morningside is they will go shock and awe, really try to hit you early and really get you back on your heels, and there they took a shot down the field right away.
Yeah, exactly. They want to make that big play and put some doubt in your mind.
Handoff, and the running back is Ryan Cole. Cole about a 6-yard pickup on the play, and there's your answer on can they run the ball effectively. First running play of the game, and they set up 3rd down and medium. We'll call it 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs at their own 42-yard line. Dowlencheck motions Austin Johnson from left to right. Back to pass, throws it to Johnson. Johnson runs over a would-be tackler, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Pursuit applied by Bryce Christian, the linebacker, after they broke the initial tackle, and now Morningside with the football at their own 46. All indications are they will go for it. At least they'll line up here on 4th and 1 near midfield.
Yeah, will this be a hard count, try to draw the defenders off sides, or?
Nope, they go for it. Dowlencheck handoff, and it's close to the first down, and initially, I'm going to say, judging by the linesman on the far side, it's going to be a first down. So the handoff to Ryan Cole. Cole needs a yard. He gets about 1.5 yards or 2, and Morningside extends the drive, and I guess you get a little glimpse into Morningside's mentality there. They're not going to give the football back if they don't have to. Dowlencheck fakes that, hands it off. And Morningside right now running the football. Ryan Cole. Cole with another 7-yard pickup on the play, picking on that right side of the line right now. and he picks up 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 3, and now the playbook wide open for the Morningside Mustangs. Morningside loves to go up tempo on offense as well. Let's see if Dordt can get a little pressure on the quarterback. Send a man in motion. That's Schweigert. They hand it off to Schweigert. Schweigert on the end around, and Schweigert picks up a first down to the 30-yard line, and he's finally brought down there by the Dordt defensive secondary. I believe that's Lucas Huttinga, one of the safety for the defenders, making the stop, and Morningside right up to the line of scrimmage again. First down and 10 at the 30.
Yeah, they're really picking up their tempo here, want to get a lot of plays in a short amount of time and take advantage of maybe the defense being on their heels a little bit.
Sam Andrews will check out of the football game. A little cat and mouse game going there as well. Jonathan Carter checks in. Zach Norton in the slot to the near side. Dolencheck back to pass. Dolencheck looking, throws over the top, has Norton into the end zone. Touchdown defenders. That's a 30-yard touchdown completion to Zach Norton. Norton with his 2nd touchdown grab of the season. And the Morningside Mustangs march down the field, finishing it with that 30-yard touchdown pass. And the Mustangs grab an early 7-0 lead. 7-0 our score. 6-0 pending the point after try. I'm getting ahead of myself. Chase Carter on to attempt the point after try. The touchdown coming with 10:33 left to play here in the first quarter. So Morningside with the lead, 6-0. Carter, a perfect 4 for 4 last week. They also hit on a 2-point conversion, I believe. They ended up with 30 points. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good, and we have our first score. Morningside draws first blood. They go up 7-0. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
End over end kick, taken again by Jord, all same spot. He's to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and the defenders will take over first down and 10 at the 20. Too many controls over here, and the defenders with it, first down and 10 at the 20. And Morningside, that's a very strategic kickoff. They want the ball. They don't want the ball in Ethan Thomas's hands. It's whoever's not who's on the field, not named Ethan Thomas, is going to get kicked at to start with. Thomas averaged nearly 30 yards per kick return last week when he did get the football. So first and 10 for the defenders. Cade McDaniel. McDaniel is going to run option, pitches right side and upended. That's Anthony Trojan. And Anthony Trojan into the contest for the first time, and on the option pitch, he loses 4 on the play. It will be 2nd down and 14. So 2nd and 14 for the defenders, and you get behind the chains, that's not a good spot to be to start, Kyle.
Well, especially against this defense. They're very aggressive. They have long athletic linebackers that can get all over the field, so you don't want to be in this spot.
Cade McDaniel, 2nd down and 14. Hands it off up the middle and maybe getting back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is it for Anthony Trojan. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the defenders, and state the obvious, but sometimes it is the obvious. You have to keep the ball away from Morningside's offense because it seems they are going to score more often than not.
Yeah, when you have a quarterback that is experienced as what they're going to score points. You want to limit their opportunities, so you got to win on first down, and going backwards on first down sure didn't help.
Back to pass McDaniel. McDaniel underthrown and the pass broken up. Nearly intercepted by the linebacker, Hayden Mendel. Mendel very nearly picks that one off, and the clock stops on the incomplete pass. It's 4th down. 4th down and 10. So the defenders forced to punt. Blade Coons will be kicking. So from the 20-yard line, back to return for the Mustangs is Caleb Schweigert. He's back inside his own 40-yard line. Coons averaging right at 40 yards per punt. This one hangs in the air a little bit, and Schweigert takes it at the 33. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. Good coverage that time by the defenders, and Blade Coons able to get enough hang time on that one. Gave his coverage team a chance to get under it and make the play. Some of those things so easy to miss, and they end up adding up by the time a season is over, obviously, but even within a game, those kind of things make a difference.
For sure. There's no doubt. Morningside still starting with pretty good field position here, so.
Yeah, at their own 40 once again, and this is about where they were last time. Dolenchek hands it off, and this time Dordt stuffs the run. And you see the defensive player, Drew Dom, trying to dig in there and maybe strip it free. 2nd down and 8, so a 2-yard pickup on the play for Ryan Cole. Cole did some damage on the first drive, the running back from St. Ansgar. 2nd down and 8, Huttinga, the safety, coming up to the line of scrimmage, showing blitz. 2nd down and 8, Dolenchek looks to the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock, 15 seconds and counting. Dolenchek looks, now directs Ryan Cole where he wants him. Back to pass, no, hands it off to Cole. Cole on the left edge, and Cole met by Ian McDonald. Short gain on the play again, and the Dordt defense right now forcing Morningside into a 3rd down and 6 situation. Need to come up with a stop here because Morningside indicating early on this might be 4-down territory already.
Yeah, exactly. They're aggressive offensively. They're going to take some chances. But that's a good first 2 plays here in this series for the defender defense. Putting Morningside in a 3rd and medium, 3rd and long situation.
3rd down and 6 on the way. Morningside back to pass Dolenchek as he empties out the backfield. Throws underneath and overshoots Zach Norton. And there was just enough pressure applied. And again, I wasn't there, but last week it appeared that when Northwestern was able to get pressure on Morningside, there were a few miscues and they weren't nearly as confident.
Yeah, and I think, boy, I'd like to see that replay because it looked like we might have got a piece of Dolenchek's throwing arm as he was recoiling on his throw.
Back to, and they will punt the football away, so 4th and 6, a little bit too much for Morningside, the risk reward. End over end kick by Justin McElliott, and the football goes out of bounds. Fortunate break for the defenders. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 29-yard line as they avert disaster as that ball trickles out of bounds.
Yeah, you really want your returner to try to get to absolutely everything, but you have to be wise in that with that concept. If you have to go too far and it's just a difficult catch because he was in traffic, sometimes it's better to lay off.
So it'll be Dordt football, 1st down and 10 at their own 27-yard line, trailing 7-0. Football's on the turf. It's loose, and McDaniel will fall on top of it. That's a loss of 7 on the play for the defenders. And the center to quarterback exchange, a little bit rough right now, and the defenders, some of those things that you take for granted can end up being challenging, and right now the defenders facing 2nd down and 17. They're at their own 20 and look for Morningside here to pin their ears back and come after Cade McDaniel. McDaniel in the gun, sends Nick Wellen from right to left, line him up at a wing back, hand off to Wellen. Wellen almost breaking that one for a medium gain, instead limited to 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down and 14, and Morningside that time able to make an arm tackle and to limit his gain to just 3 yards. So 3rd down and long now. Eli Bolden into the game. He'll line up wide right. Over on the near side, Jaden Heisman and Ethan Thomas. Would love to see Ethan Thomas get his hands on the ball again in the slot. Anthony Trojan, your running back. They'll motion Trojan out of the backfield. Back to pass. McDaniel flushed from the pocket. He's going to run for it. We've got a flag on the play. He's got a first down, but this one in all likelihood is going to be coming back as the flag was thrown at the 21-yard line. And this could be that point of emphasis. We saw that from the GPAC officials earlier this week. Point of emphasis, the illegal blocks. This might be a hold, but Dordt got dinged for a illegal block last week. Tonight, it's a holding penalty that's going to set up third down and long for the defenders. This is going to be third and over 20.
Yeah, those are tough situations. Quarterback scrambles, and when that happens, the offensive linemen have a legal hold if there's, the hands inside. And once Cade took off, the defender tried to get off the block, and then the jersey stretches, and that's when the call gets made. Yeah,
when it turns from a pass play to a run play, it gets more challenging. Rolling left, McDaniel. McDaniel passes. Well, it picks up yardage on the play, but it's going to be well shy of the first down and actually out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So a pickup of 5 on the play, and it's going to be fourth down and long. Fourth and long for the defenders, and Blade Coons is going to punt for the third time this evening. And back to return will be Caleb Schweigert once again. This time his heels are at the 40-yard line. And look for Morningside. They might come with pressure here. Blade Coons at the 19-yard line. Snap is back to Blade, gets it, and he sends it a wobbler towards the sideline, and it takes a bounce out of bounds. That's going to be near the midfield stripe. And the Morningside Mustangs will have it first down and 10 with 5:36 left to play in the first quarter. Now the Dordt defense got to come up with a play as Morningside with a relatively short field to work with. They'll start at their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, offense just not getting anything going, especially on first down and putting themselves in tough situations with second and extra long and third and long. Not where they want to be, so putting a lot of stress on the defense so far.
7-0, Morningside in front in case you're just joining us. Dolenchek hands it off. This is going to be a fake end around. Keeping it is Cole. Cole ridden out of bounds after about a 9-yard pickup on the play. Making that stop for the defenders is Grant Hickson, the cornerback, coming up to force him out of bounds after a 9-yard pickup on the play.
Yeah, and really blocked well on the play side by the Morningside front, giving Cole a lot of room to run.
And gave Dordt something extra to look at. Now Dordt trying to get players off of the field, and this is going to be an illegal substitution or too many on the field. They're going to take a shot down the field, and incomplete. Dolenchek knew that the flag was coming, took a free shot, basically a free play, and falls incomplete. But this is going to be a substitution penalty against the defenders.
Yeah, again, you just see the experience that they have at that position. Yep. He knows exactly what the penalty was. He saw the flag.
Well, he is almost as old as you are, Kyle.
Well, I'm pretty old there. but yeah, just being heads up. You see it all the time with the experienced, even pros. Aaron Rodgers types that they see that and they make stuff happen, and he's going to take a shot.
Second nature. And this is his 4th year, and he took over the name came to me last night, was the quarterback for Morningside.
Was it Solzma?
Yeah.
Yep. Trent Solzma.
Trent was an outstanding quarterback, and then we thought, well, they're going to drop off, and Joe Dolenchek shows up out of Bellevue, Nebraska, and who's this guy? And we found out pretty quickly who this guy was, and outstanding quarterback, and as you said, well, that's interesting. So, he throws an interception there. We got chaos, Kyle.
Right, and we do. I think you'd see a little different reaction from the Morningside sideline if that was the case.
But now should it be second down and 10? Pass over the top for Norton, and it's complete. And, Austin Johnson. Johnson with the 41-yard touchdown reception. And the Dordt defenders, if that is going to be open, it's going to be a tough day because he got a step on the defensive back, and Morningside can complete that one a lot unless we get something corrected on defense.
Yeah, we're putting the safeties just have not been in great position here on their 2 long pass plays, getting beat over the top, maybe biting on a little bit of play action, which there wasn't. But
Carter with the point after, it's through, and the Morningside Mustangs 2 big pass plays, and they lead it 14-0. 14-0 our score. Dordt needs a response. Back with more from Sioux Center right after this 1-minute break.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Well, the Dordt defenders need something good to happen here, and this one kicked through the end zone. This will be a touchback, and the Dordt defenders will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line, trailing 14-0, and it's been a couple of big pass plays for the Morningside Mustangs so far, testing the Dordt secondary, and so far the Dordt secondary, that long pass over the middle, and I'm sure Coach Brandon McCormick, defensive coordinator, on the headset talking with Taylor Roloffs on the sideline about what corrections need to be made there, and that's really where your coordinators make your money, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you know, you just can't give up the big plays. You know Morningside is going to have success offensively, but you don't want to have them having long scoring plays that take very little time off the clock. You know, make them earn it. And so I think you'll see a little bit different look from the defensive secondary.
Cade McDaniel on the carry, and McDaniel met after a short gain on the play by Linnell Boyd. I remember Boyd from last year. He comes up and packs a wallop as he 5'10", 195-pounder from St. Louis, Missouri, one of several players on this team from St. Louis, and I want to ask you about that in just a little bit as well. McDaniel in the gun, triple option for the defenders, 2nd down and long. It's 2nd and 6. Dordt at their own 29-yard line. I want to ask you about recruiting pockets, so that's what I'm going to ask you about in just a little bit. Handoff, and with the carry, that is Dordt's Daniel Dickerson, one of 2 running backs to gain 100 yards last week. It's going to set up 3rd down and 4. How do you develop recruiting pockets? Because I look at this Morningside team, they got a bunch of players from St. Louis. How does that happen?
Yeah, they must have a coach connection somewhere. It's typically, you know, you have one coach somewhere, or maybe an alumni in a spot, and once you have success, get 1 or 2 players from one area, it seems to steamroll.
Cade McDaniel back to pass, takes a shot, and it's overthrown of Ethan Thomas, underthrown for Eli Bolden at the Morningside 45, and the clock stops. It'll be 4th down and long, and the defenders forced to punt. Blade Coons will be punting from his own the line of scrimmage at the 31-yard line. And that's why coaches network, and you talk about coaching trees and all of that. When you're a college coach, very beneficial to have people you know at the high school ranks.
Exactly, and you know, you think about the Morningside football program. They've been successful for a long period of time. They just know a lot of people in a lot of different areas.
End over end kick taken at the 35-yard line by Schweigert. Schweigert brought down, no gain on that return. Stopped at the 35-yard line. He ends up running more north and south than east and west. And on the stop for the defenders, That's one of those special teams only guys. And that was Jordan Gall. Gall had a quarterback sack last week for the Defenders, played a little defense as well.
Well, and that was a good solid hit. Things like that sometimes jar the ball out, and hopefully we can cause a turnover here.
Need something good to happen here soon. Dordt trailing 14-0, 3:29 left to play first quarter. Swing pass left side complete, and up the sideline, stepping out of bounds is, I believe that was Caleb Schweigert actually who they swung it out to, and Schweigert very close to a first down. Stopped short of the first down by a yard. It's going to be second down and 1. Over in Orange City today, the volleyball team for Dordt trailing Northwestern 2-1, but it's tied 10-10 in set number 4. Back to pass, Dolenchek swings it out to Norton. Norton, the ball carrier. Norton circles away from one would-be tackler and is finally brought down by the linebacker, Ian McDonald, making the assist on the play, knocking him down. But so far, Zach Norton, the wide receiver from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, proving to be very difficult for the Dordt defenders to contain. Dolenchek back to pass. Dolenchek steps back, throws in across, and the pass is incomplete. Austin Johnson caught it, but he steps out of bounds as he makes the grab inside the 10, and Caleb Schweigert, he's not going to make any friends with the officials doing that, but it's going to be second down and 10. Schweigert came over and pointed out where he thought the foot came down, and the officials still ruling out of bounds, incomplete. It'll be second and 10.
Yeah, it's amazing. They very rarely change their mind. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
You're right. Second and 10. 2:54 remaining first quarter. Handoff, and Cole picks up 4 yards on the play. And almost appears to me, Kyle, that Morningside trying to make a statement with their ground game is I'm sure they heard the rumbles about, hey, they only gained, 50 yards on running last week. There's probably a little bit of pride that was bruised in that one.
Well, that, and, I know Coach Ryan likes to throw the ball, but he does enjoy a little bit more balance than what they were a week ago.
Third down and 6. Dolenchek sends a man in motion left to right. Back to pass, Dolenchek. Dolenchek complete to Schweigert, and Schweigert brought down at the 15-yard line, and that's enough for a Morningside first down. That's a gain of 10. It's going to be first and 10 from the 15, and 2:10 remaining here in the first quarter, and Morningside continuing to work the ball down the field, and they're threatening to go up by 3 scores here. They're in the red zone. Dordt needs a turnover. Handoff Cole. Cole stopped after a 4-yard gain on the play. It's going to be second down and 6. Second and 6. Ryan Cole from St. Ansgar. 16 carries last week, 56 yards, a 3.5 yards per carry average. He's done better than that here today. Back to passes, Dolenchek. Dolenchek dumps it underneath and bowling his way into the end zone. That's Siona Tuafua. And he runs over a tackler into the end zone, and Tuafua with the 15-yard touchdown catch. And the Morningside Mustangs lead it 20-0 as we approach the end of the first quarter. Tuafua from Barrow, Alaska. He wins the award for making the longest trip to get to school this year. Chase Carter on to attempt the point after. And for the Morningside Mustangs, it's 21-0 after the point after try by Carter. And Carter now 7 of 7 this season on point after tries. We're going to take a 1-minute break. You're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Jordahl on the return, and Jordahl takes a solid knock on that one as he gets across the 20-yard line to the 23. And that's going to set up first down and 10 for the defenders at their own 23-yard line. And we have yet to see the Dordt offense really get clicking. They've got one first down through this first quarter, and with 1:24 left to play in the first quarter of action, they trail 21-0. So 21-0 our score for the Dordt offense. Rolling right is McDaniel. McDaniel throw, pass complete to Ethan Thomas. And Thomas forced out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And that's a Dordt University first down.
I like that play, Mike. Getting quarterback out of the pocket, rolling out, get some movement. Was rolling out the same direction that Thomas was running his route. Good throw and catch to convert and get a first down.
He had a 65-yard touchdown pass and reception, or 62 yards last week. And more often than not, good things happen when they got him the football. Now, we'll talk about the interception that he threw on the option pitch, but good things happen. But right now, Ethan out of the game. Now he's returning. That was a 3-yard pickup on the play by the defenders, and Anthony Trojan sets up second down and 7. 35 seconds on the game clock, 24 on the play clock, so they'll have to snap it for a first down, or pardon me, before the quarter comes to an end. Motioning Wellen out of the backfield. Stepping up is McDaniel. McDaniel brought down after a short gain on the play, and Jonah Kohlbaum, 6'2", 270 from Bronson, Iowa, makes the tackle. That'll set up third down and 5. And I've been around long enough. If that is the son of who I think he is, Jonah comes by that 6'2", 270 very honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Some genetics at work there. Third down and 6. The quarter comes to an end. The Dordt defenders trailing 21-0. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're listening to the Dordt Media Network and KIHK.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
You're listening to KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Almost let the old call letters slip out there. Some habits die hard, I thought. Well, we are glad to be on the FM dial once again as well. And a thank you to Sioux County Radio, Pete Westerbeek over there, helping to make that happen. We appreciate it greatly being back on FM. Dordt trailing 21-0. McDaniel's going to run option and trying second effort, and very nearly got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. And he was wrapped up by Greg Hake, and that's going to set up fourth down.
Yeah, it looked like they might have got away with a face mask. We'll see it here on the replay as, there was a little bit of a grab.
Up around the cage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
didn't turn his head a whole lot, so sometimes you can get away with those.
The gentleman down here to my left saw it from where he was sitting. So,
well, and we got a great view from up here.
Yep, and we got the replay as well. So
that's right.
Fourth down and 5. Blade Coons is going to have to punt. Skips back to him. Coons scoops it out of the grass. Fair catch called for at the 20. That ends up being a 34-yard punt. And the Morningside Mustangs, poorest field position of the day thus far. 1st and 10 from their own 20. And let's see if the Dordt defenders can get something good to happen here and tighten this thing up just a little bit.
Exactly. Got to do a good job here on first down. Win that first down really on both sides of the ball. That's been the difference so far.
1st down and 10 for the Mustangs. The Dordt defenders up to the line of scrimmage. 14-11 remaining here in the first half. Dordt trailing 21-0. Joe Dolenchek hands it off, and a tackle made in the secondary. That's a carry by Bryson Freeberg. Freeberg picks up 9 on the play. It's 2nd down and 1. So Freeberg on the carry. Listed as your backup running back for the Mustangs. 2nd down and 1. Back to pass, Dolenchek swings it over to Norton. Norton space to work. He's to the 30, 35, 40, and brought down at the 42-yard line. And the tackle by Dordt's linebacker Ian McDonald. And Morningside going up tempo once again. When good things happen, that's when they really get things going up tempo.
Yeah, they want to keep you on your heels and take advantage of some offensive momentum.
And there we saw the umpire standing over the football, allowing the substitution to happen. That brings us back to the discussion we had earlier in this one. Handoff, Freeberg again, tackled by Chip Casey, the cornerback. But that's a gain of, 7 on the play? It's going to be 2nd down and 3. 2nd and 3 for the Mustangs near midfield at the 48-yard, at their own 48. They need the Dordt 49 for a first down. Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek takes a shot over the top. It's caught by Norton. Norton 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And the Morningside offense clicking right now, and another pass completion to Zach Norton. Norton with 5 receptions last week for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. He already has, 2 or 3 touchdowns today. And the defenders trail at 27-0 with 12:48 left to play here in the first half. So Morningside clicking on offense, and the Dordt defense having a tough time keeping up. Chase Carter on to attempt the point after, trying to make it 28-0 with 12:48 left to play here in the first half. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights, and the Morningside Mustangs lead it 28-0. Back with more from Sioux Center right after this 1-minute timeout.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
You're listening to KIHK and the Dordt Media Network, and not a great start for the defenders, and that's the understatement of the day as Ethan Thomas takes it at the goal line to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and to the 31-yard line. Ethan Thomas, a 31-yard return, and that's why Morningside was kicking away from him earlier today. This time they kick at him, and he returns at 31 yards. Well, 1st and 10 for the defenders at their own 31. Home opener for the defenders. Next week they go on the road to Dakota Wesleyan. And the quarterback, Cade McDaniel, in the gun. McDaniel fakes right, goes left, pitches, left side. And a 10-yard pickup on the play for the defenders, and that's a backup running back, Chase Tompkins. So Chase Tompkins, a freshman from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, getting his first action of the day. You gonna be all right over there?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. So Chase Tompkins with the carry, picks up 11 on the play. It's going to be first down and 10 for the defenders. Football is at the 41, first down and 10. McDaniel. Chase hands it off. Ethan Thomas. Thomas racing to the corner, trying to get to the edge, and he is tripped up on the play by Morningside's Jalen Portis, and that'll bring up second down and long. So gain of 3 on the play for Ethan Thomas. Needed him to plant his foot and find a seam maybe, right, trying to get to the edge, and just ran out of room. Second down and long for the defenders. McDaniel has Bolden to the right. Anthony Trojan goes from right to left. And with the pitch, left side. And again, they get it to the running back, Tompkins, Chase Tompkins, freshman from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. A couple of carries and a couple of first downs for Tompkins. And Tompkins, a little more speed, able to get to the edge and get up the sideline for some positive yards.
Yeah, good success getting outside so far on this drive. Need to mix in some inside run as Morningside starts to adjust to that.
First down and 10. Back to pass is McDaniel. Cade takes a shot to the middle of the field, and it's picked off. Taken away by Morningside's secondary, and the interception is Dion Wells. Wells makes the catch, and we have a flag on the play at the 40-yard line as well. In all likelihood, came on the run back. And we'll wait for the indication from our official. Dordt trailing 28-0, 10:50 left to play here in the first half. Morningside gets the football back. They were forced to punt once. They had a fourth down conversion on their first drive as well. Otherwise, the offense has been clicking on all cylinders. So the hold came on the run back, so a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And the Dordt defenders will send the defense back onto the field. And Morningside right now, all the momentum on their side, leading 28-0. Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, McDaniel just had a little bit too much Ethan Thomas on his mind there. Forced that one in. I think he had Hayden Large open underneath that route. Tried to go a little bit too deep, trying to force it to Ethan, and threw into double coverage and with bad results.
First down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 30-yard line. Dolenchek back to pass. Dolenchek looking over the middle. Dolenchek under pressure. Dolenchek rolling right. And he's going to throw it away. Out of bounds. It's second down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Second down and 10 coming. Well, over in Orange City, the Dordt volleyball team has just forced set 5 with a 25-23 win in set 4. Here, the Dordt Defender football team trailing 28-0 with Dolenchek for Morningside in the gun. Turns, hands, gives to Cole. Cole, the ball carrier, and Cole picks up 6 or 7 on the play before he is brought down by Abe Stays. Abe Stays with the tackle. It's going to be third down and 3. Third and 3 for the defenders at their own, for the Mustangs at their own 37. 10-20 and counting, first half. It's been all Morningside thus far. Dordt's offense has struggled to get the ball moving. I believe they have 3 first downs to their credit this season, or this evening. And the Dordt defense wants a timeout. So there's a timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves on KIHK. Let's take a 1-minute break. And this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
Morningside football, third down, and they flare it out to Norton. Norton retreats back behind the sticks, and then on the second effort picks up 4 yards on the play, an additional 4 yards, and that's more than enough for a Morningside first down, and Morningside has it first down and 10 at their own 43-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 43. Man in motion is Norton. Back to pass is Dolenchek looking for the screen play and threw it at the feet of his running back Cole. And that'll set up second down and 10. Is there a hold on that play in your opinion or no?
I didn't see a hold there.
Okay.
Great job of reading the screen by the defense up front. But yeah, again, you got a experienced quarterback that throws it away. Live for the next play.
Dolenchek hands it off to Cole. Cole gains 2 or 3 on the play. And last week, that Briarcliff actually hurt Dordt with that screen pass where right after we'd get pressure on the defense, or the defense would get pressure on the quarterback, Briarcliff would counter with that little screen pass, and that actually was very productive for the Briarcliff Chargers.
Yeah, and Morningside's had versions of, a lot of different screen versions. They like that little slip screen to their back, kind of out of a play action.
Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek with time. Dolenchek looking down the field, throws to the sideline. Pass is complete and forced out of bounds. The receiver. And for Morningside, that is number 16, Josh Simmons. So Simmons makes the catch. Dolenchek, first down and 10 at the Dordt 44-yard line, hands it off Cole. Cole trying to find the edge right on that right at the right tackle, and not much there. Gains 1 on the play. It's going to be second down, and I don't know if that was Jessup Lakey who chased that one down from behind. Might have actually been Doug Walls. Doug Walls with the tackle, chasing that one down from behind. And back to pass is Dolenchek. Second down and 9. Pass complete to Norton, and Norton right at the sticks. Makes the catch. And he's going to be just shy of the first down by a yard. Chip Casey on the coverage. And that'll bring up third down. Third down and 1. Morningside with the football and the lead, 28-0, 7:58 and counting first half. Handed off, up the middle is Cole. Cole moves the pile and eventually stopped inside the 35, looks like at the 34, and judging by the head linesman over on the near side where he was located, I'm guessing that's going to be a first down. So Cole with another carry, Morningside with another first down. They lead at 28-0 with 7:43 left to play here in the first half. Morningside Mustangs, Dolenchek is the quarterback, and we have a stoppage in play. Stoppage in play. They put 25 up on the play clock. 7.5 left to go in the game. Back to pass, in the half. Dolenchek. Pass batted away, and it falls incomplete. And that'll set up second down and 10. So 2nd and 10. Dordt getting a little pressure on Dolenchek now. And a turnover would be tremendous at this point.
For sure.
2nd down and 10. So 2nd and 10, Morningside. And we have a substitution. And the Morningside Mustangs are going to use a timeout. Timeout on the field, charge to the Morningside Mustangs. We'll take a 1-minute break on KIHK. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more on the Dordt Media Network right after this.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
Morningside burns a timeout. Morningside Mustangs facing 2nd down and 10. They have 2 remaining. 7:26 left to play in the half. Back to pass Dolenchek. Dolenchek takes another shot down the field. Casey on the coverage. Ball jarred free, incomplete. Chip Casey, a cornerback, kind of left out on an island there and gets up and makes the play.
Yeah, played that really well with his shooting his hands through the receiver and jarring that ball loose because the ball was thrown really well.
We have a stoppage in play. Somebody lost a lid the way it looks for the Dordt defenders. That is Cooper Hidalgo, who lost his helmet. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Mustangs at the 34-yard line. And that's one of the rare times that Dolenchek has delivered the football on the mark, and the defenders have been able to knock it loose. A little bit of movement, plenty of time for the Mustangs. They reset the play clock moments ago. Dolenchek, hard count. Flag comes out, free play. Dolenchek takes a shot down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of Michael Payne, and that falls incomplete. This will be against the Dordt defense. So this will be against the Dordt defense. We talked earlier today, Kyle, about connections, and you have a ton of connections through your time in football as a head player, coach, head coach, and one of those connections, involved with the Morningside Mustangs now.
Yeah, Dirk Bach, a former teammate of mine, serves as the football team chaplain for Morningside, and I do want to put out a little challenge here to Defender Nation. Dirk is suffering from cancer and needs prayers, specifically to gain some weight and some strength at this point.
We'll get back to that in just a moment. Dolenchek turns hands, and this was a 3rd and 5 situation and stopped right at the first down marker is Cole, and it looks like he's got enough for that first down. Last week, Northwestern and Morningside, a fundraiser for Dirk at Morningside's home football game.
Yeah, and I was at that game for that reason. Dirk has made a tremendous impact on the spiritual life of the Morningside football team, and they wanted to bless him with a fundraiser.
Cole with the run, and Cole, another 7 or 8 yard gain on the play. It's 2nd and 2. I'll let you get back to it.
You bet. So and as a Northwestern alum, Northwestern was involved in that fundraiser, and again, he's got a long road ahead of him. He's going to fight. His nickname in college was Dirty instead of Dirk, so it's Fight Dirty, and he's going to be battling cancer here, and we can support him in a lot of ways.
Second down and 2. Screen pass completed to Tuafua, and we've got a flag on the play as well. For the time being, another 6 on the board as Tuafua tumbles into the end zone, but we have a flag at the 10-yard line with 6:10 remaining here in the first half. Morningside leading it 28-0. The officials will sort this out, and the flag, I'm guessing this is going to be against Morningside, but oftentimes, yep, that's going to be a hold against the offense, and that'll be marked off from the point, from the spot of the foul, and that'll set up second down and longer for the Morningside Mustangs.
Yeah, get offensive linemen out in space, and sometimes the hands get out wide, and grab some jersey, and good thing for Dordt, we can back them up a little bit here.
Second down and long coming here for the Mustangs. It's going to be 2nd and 7, I believe. 6:10 remaining here in the first half. 28-0 our score, and it's been all Morningside thus far. Going to check on that volleyball match happening in Orange City as well in just a little bit. Handoff left side. And I'm going to assume that was Cole again. It is. And Cole forced out of bounds, and Morningside with this 28-0 lead, kind of grinding out this drive here. And it appears their intent to take some time off of the clock and get this thing to halftime. They're taking their time now. They are not going tempo, and with a 4-score lead, I don't blame them.
Right.
So Dolenchek, receivers set right and left, has Cole in the backfield with him. Dolenchek fakes the handoff. Looked like he was going to pass and then tucks it away, and he is brought down after a short gain on the play down to the 17-yard line, and that's going to set up 4th down. 4th down and 3. So 4th down and 3, football at the 17-yard line over in Orange City. Yeah, that comeback effort might end up falling short. 10-5, the defenders trailing Northwestern in set number 5 after Dordt wins sets 3 and 4 to force set 5. So it's 4th down and 4, and we have a timeout on the field. Timeout charged to the Dordt defenders. That's their second timeout. Let's take a 1-minute break on KIHK. And this timeout is brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 1 minute. Timeout charge to the Dordt defenders. You are listening to KIHK and the Dordt Media Network, and Morningside's going to attempt a field goal here. This will be the first field goal attempt of the season for Chase Carter, with 4:53 left to go in the half, and he might have pushed it right. He does push it right. That ends up being a 34-yard field goal attempt, and the Dordt defense forces Morningside to attempt a field goal. They miss the field goal, and Kyle, you got to take something positive away from this first half.
Exactly, and that right there, getting a stop, forcing the field goal attempt, and yeah, fortunately we got a little pressure, and he pushed it to the right. So hopefully he can build on that.
Dordt will take over first down and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll take over first and 10 at their own 20. 4:48 left to play here in the first half. Handoff up the middle is Wellen. Wellen gains 12 on the play. And the defenders with a first down. So Nick Wellen gained 133 yards last week. 2 touchdown scores, had a long of 14. Almost gets that. Gets a 12-yard gain on the play that time, and the defenders facing first down and 10 at the 32-yard line. 4.5 minutes left to go in the half. Dordt trailing 28-0. It was 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Rolling right as McDaniel. McDaniel rolling right, still rolling, and he's going to be driven out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. That's Brody Nelson making the tackle, and it's going to set up second down and long, 2nd and 11. The Dordt defense feels like they have been on the field a long time here in the first half. Fortunately, not terribly hot, but it's still taxing. And they're getting instructions now from Taylor Roloffs on the sideline. Handoff Wellen. Wellen fights his way forward to the 35-yard line, picks up 3 or 4 on the play. It's going to be third down and long. Third and long for the defenders on the carry by Wellen. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the recap, and of course we'll also check in with stats, and we'll recap what happened on the Dordt campus for athletics this weekend. Third down and 6, 3:27 and counting. Second quarter, back to pass is McDaniel. Pumps, throws over the top, and he is held on the play. Hayden Large held on the play, and the defenders will likely get an automatic first down off of this, as that happened with the ball in the air, so that'll be pass interference, I believe, and a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Yeah, going back to that matchup, size difference with Large down the middle of the field, and yeah, he had a step, and so the defender grabbed on, and ball was in the air, so first down for Dordt.
So 15-yard penalty, and Linnell Boyd, he's thinking 15 yards is a lot better than getting beat for 60 yards in a TD. So he's taken the penalty and lived to play another down. First down and 10 for the defenders at the 49-yard line of the Mustangs. Second time this evening that Dort's been in Morningside territory. Morningside leading it 28-0. Handoff to Wellen. Wellen's second effort, and Wellen picks up 6 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 4. Well, if you can get some points here before halftime, get into the halftime with something good happening. You still got 30 minutes left, and it seems that the defense has made some adjustments, and it's made life a little more difficult for the Morningside Mustangs. First things first, see if they can move the chains here. Second down and 4. McDaniel to the edge, and McDaniel forced out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So McDaniel forced out of bounds at the 37, and first down and 10 for Dordt.
Yeah, good mixture of inside run and a little bit outside. Doing a nice job.
That's McDaniel up the right sideline. And that replay brought to you by American State Bank. Also like to tell you that Wireless World helps make these broadcasts possible. Still working out those details on their sponsorship, but want to make sure we mention them. Handoff to the 30, to the 25, and down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. And that's a Dordt first down on the carry by Chase Tompkins. So Chase Tompkins inside the tackles that time picks up a Dordt first down.
Yeah, really nice run. He plants his foot, gets behind a block. I think that was Huseman on the nice block, kick out. Ducked inside of that for a good positive gain.
And we've had a timeout. Well, we've got a player that's shaken up on the field for the Morningside Mustangs, and that is Jalen Portis. Jalen Portis being attended to by the Morningside training staff. And over in Orange City, it's gone final. Northwestern defeats Dordt 15-9 in set 5. They will help Jalen Portis off of the field. So the defenders, the volleyball team, a 3-0 win over nationally rated Dakota Wesleyan team on Wednesday night. And then a win, they forced Northwestern to 5 on their home court at the Boltman Center. Obviously, you want the win. If you're keeping score, I always like to be on the top side, but I like what the volleyball team has done in the past 2 weeks or so since they got back from California, and they have they've shown that they're going to be very competitive in the conference race. Back to football here. First down and 10 for the defenders at their own at the Morningside 23-yard line. Handoff up the middle, and that carry by Anthony Trojan. Trojan picks up 9 yards. It will be 2nd down and 1. 2nd and 1 for the defenders with 1:45 left to play here in the first half. Handoff Trojan. Trojan again the ball carrier, and Trojan picks up a Dordt first down. He's down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11 actually, as he stopped just shy of the first down. Dordt can get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
And plenty of time left here in the half. No need to rush this. Make sure you get the call in and take your time and get positive yards.
Got 1 timeout left as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. 1:17 left to play here in the first half. McDaniel rolling left, stops, plants, passes over the middle is intercepted at the goal line, and bringing it out from the goal line, making the interception. That was Isaac Pengel. Pengel with 2 big sacks last week as well. In the win over Northwestern, comes up with an interception at the goal line, and Cade McDaniel looking for Hayden Large, and the pass stepping in front was Pengel for the interception, and the return, and Morningside still pitching the shutout thus far. Dordt threatens on their last 2 possessions, but a couple of interceptions thwarting their chance to get into the end zone.
Yeah, that was Pengel showing his experience. Probably had a good idea if we were to throw the ball, where we were going to go with it, and he was hiding in the weeds, ready for that interception.
Yeah, it looked like he shadowed Large actually, and that's a heads-up play, and that's knowing personnel and situation. Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek under pressure, throws underneath, pass completed to Cole. Cole to the 25, to the 30, to the 35-40. Brought down at the 42-yard line, tackled from behind. Chasing it down from behind was Dordt's Drew Dahm, I believe. Under a minute left to play here in the first half. Morningside leading 28-0. Dolenchek throws underneath, pass is complete. And pass completed to Jack Seivert. Seivert, a new player. He's one of those 8 players or so that caught passes last week for the Morningside Mustangs. And the Morningside Mustangs now, after being held out of the end zone and forced to settle for a long field goal attempt that went wide right on their last drive, they're now threatening here at the Dordt 45, leading 28-0. Dolenchek back to pass. Dolenchek pass underneath, and Chip Casey on the coverage. Short gain on the play. Clock will continue to run, and I believe we have a timeout on the field charged to Morningside. Morningside will use a timeout with 30 seconds left to go in the half. Morningside leading it 28-0. Let's take a 1-minute break on KIHK. And this timeout brought to you on the Dordt Media Network by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute. Second down and 5 for the Dordt for the Morningside Mustangs at the Dordt 40. 30 seconds remaining in the half. Morningside with 1 timeout remaining. They'll motion Norton out of the backfield. Dolenchek back to pass. 4 receivers to the right. He's looking right, and Dordt with a quarterback sack. That does not happen often. Jessup Lakey with a quarterback sack. Yeah. And we might have just witnessed a solar eclipse, because that's about how often he gets sacked.
Exactly. Normally, Morningside very good in pass protection, but nice pressure there. Huge play, putting Morningside in a 3rd and 15 situation.
And Morningside will use their final timeout with a football at midfield. Let's take a 30-second break on KIHK. And here on the Dordt Media Network, we will tell you that this timeout is brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll keep it right here on the Dordt Media Network, and we'll tell you that earlier today, the Dordt soccer team in action with Bethany Lutheran. They end up playing to a stalemate, 0-0, and the Defenders opening conference play on Wednesday. Welcome back on KIHK. You are listening to Dordt football on KIHK, Rock Valley, Iowa. 106.9 FM, serving Rock Valley and Sioux Center. Got to make sure I get all the particulars down so the FCC doesn't come knocking. It's 3rd down and 15 for the for the Mustangs at midfield. Morningside, probably 4-down territory here. Back to pass is Dolenchek. He's going to take a shot over the top, and the Dordt. That time the safety playing over the top, Kyle, and we were talking about that. Zayden Nicholson plays over the top, and he was very deep on the play, and he was there where the ball was going to arrive.
Yeah, much better job of staying over top of the receiver, and it would have taken a perfect pass. And really good coverage underneath, and with him over the top, tough to put it in there. And great stop by the defense after a couple good start to that Morningside drive.
Does it surprise you they don't go for 7 or 8 yards there and then go for it on 4th down possibly?
It does, but I think they had success with that. The receiver up the hash and thought, hey, let's take a shot here. We got him a few times early in the game. Nice adjustment there by the Dordt defense of kind of learning from earlier mistakes and being in a good position there.
Fair catch called for by Evan Jordahl. Dordt will take over 1st down and 10, deep in their own territory, and Morningside's out of timeouts. I'm guessing Dordt will take a knee here and get into the locker room trailing 28-0. Second quarter, much better than the first quarter.
Yeah, and the last 8-10 minutes of this half, Morningside or our Dordt defenders have played Morningside straight up. A nice drive. Probably you want to get points out of it, but you have something that you can build on going into half, because you did a lot of good things. You just can't turn the ball over in the red zone.
Dordt takes a knee, and that is it for the first half of play. Our score: Morningside 28, the Dordt Defenders 0. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with, I believe, highlights on the Dordt Media Network, and we'll also be have video of the dance team once they're set. Let's take a 2-minute timeout on both KIHK and the Dordt Media Network.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection. Connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications, looking ahead.
Park, you are being treated to the Dordt dance team and their performance. For those of you on KIHK, we will be going to the numbers and a rundown of the statistics as well in just a moment. Other GPAC scores from the conference today: Northwestern a winner over Dakota Wesleyan 54-7, Midland over Doane 20-6, Briarcliff a winner over Jamestown 31-25, and it was Hastings over Mount Marty 45-20. And for those of you watching, we are glad to have you along with us. Over 2,500 viewers this evening, and not completely unexpected, as we anticipated a big crowd or a big audience for this one, and didn't disappoint. Would like to, while the things are still at halftime, like to take notice of the Dordt Media Network and the student crew that's doing their work basically unsupervised this evening. The training wheels are off, and they are manning the truck, and everything that you are seeing is being done by our student crew, and so very thankful for their conscientious work, and they have done a bang-up job so far this evening, and they are got a half to go, guys and ladies, and I think they're well on their way. So I've been really pleased and grateful for their work here this evening.
Yeah, they do a great job, and for this early in the school year to have the duties all on their own, doing a fantastic job of getting you some shots, some highlights, some replays. They do a wonderful job, and we're really thankful to have those students doing a great job in their jobs here on campus.
And a lot of the credit for that goes to Rich Lodewijk and his training of those students. Sometimes it can be sink or swim some days, and we find out who can swim, and we find out who might need a life preserver, and we work with them. But yeah, they're doing a great job. And you talk about early in the year, but we've had a few opportunities at repetitions as well. We've had soccer, we've had volleyball.
Yeah.
We've actually had a JV football game this past Monday, and we had, and they do the Sioux Center High School football games as well. So they've had 2 home games with that. So
it is a busy crew. They get a lot of opportunities. Yeah, and a wonderful experience for them, and yeah, to have everything kind of on their own plate and doing it themselves today is kind of a fun thing.
And I will say this, and you as a student employee coordinator or director, I'm not even sure what your title is other than making sure everybody's got the student employees they need.
That's right.
If you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, something like that, you get to be involved in a lot of athletic events. You get to be involved in something that some excitement around it. We are always on the lookout for more student employees that want to be a part of these kind of things. And as you said, Kyle, there are plenty of opportunities, plenty of games, and plenty of events that we can cover on campus.
Exactly, and yeah, students, you know, a lot of times students have been involved in athletics throughout high school. Probably don't continue that into their college experience, but this is an opportunity for them to be part of a team, to be involved in athletics and showcasing the Defender athletic teams, and continuing that with some coverage of Sioux Center High School. You know, it keeps them involved in the sports. They get the best seat in the house in many cases, and yeah, they do a fantastic job. And you're right, it's due to the leadership of Rich Lodewijk. Does a great job with Dordt Media Network. But hey, things just don't function very well on campus without our student employees as a whole. And this is a good group that is a great example of that.
Let's tell you what. I know that they have they've got some highlights queued up. We're going to take a break though. So after we've teed it up and talked so well about you guys back in the truck, we're going to take a 2-minute break both on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. We're going to be back with a look at stats and highlights right after this. You're watching the Dordt Media Network and listening to KIHK. Back with more in 2 minutes.
Hello fans of Defender Sports, hope you're enjoying the game whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
We wanted to find a community that had a great heart with activities. We have 2 little boys. We want to see grow and find things for them to do. And we wanted to see a community that just felt vibrant and thriving.
All the people I know from Sioux Center, even from around town, very nice actually, very nice people.
We have things that people are drawn to. That's why people like to come to Sioux Center. Shop, live, buy the works.
It's very peaceful, very secure, I'll say secure place. I love it.
The people of Sioux Center they're very kind. They really have a caring spirit towards their community. You'll see that on every level, whether it's on the football game on Friday night or the band competitions on Saturday afternoon. They just have a level of passion for their community.
On the Dordt Media Network, it's 28-0, Morningside leading. And go ahead and roll those highlights on the Dordt Media Network and fill you in on some numbers as well as things progress. You saw Morningside take the lead early on and took some shots over the top, watching a completion to Zach Norton, one of his 2 touchdown catches. Joe Dolenchek has been every bit of the Player of the Year candidate that we thought he would be. You see another completion, and he really got it going on and found Tuafua for the short gain, an 11-yard touchdown pass as well. And there the final score of the half. Zach Norton racing to the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. And all totaled, the Morningside Mustangs able to give Joe Dolenchek quite a bit of time, but Jessup Lakey did get through late and forced Morningside to punt, and that was part of that string of plays where we said, you know, some good things are happening. It's just unfortunate that it's 28-0 at that point.
Yeah, there were too many big plays, especially early. You know, as you can see on the highlights, for those of you listening on the radio, just some play action, just enough play action to keep the safeties' feet frozen or get them moving up towards the line of scrimmage a little bit, allowed the receivers to get back behind us, and some big plays there. Yeah, and you expect some big plays. You can't be giving up long touchdowns against a quality team like Morningside. You really have to force them to earn it. Yeah, and late in the half, when you force them to drive the whole field and sustain things and convert 3rd downs, more positive things were happening. Forcing a field goal attempt and forcing turnover, forcing punts late. All positive.
And I know everyone's going to say, you work for Dordt, you're paid to say these things, but I'm taking a look at the numbers. Dordt, 104 yards rushing. Morningside, 88. I thought they would have had more, in all honesty, but they did have the sack late, and so that counts against it. Passing, Morningside 258, that's just too many. Dordt 38 yards passing, so all total, Dordt, my math, 142 yards of total offense for Morningside. Yeah, you've given up nearly 350 yards. That's too much, simply. The numbers, Joe Dolenchek, 15 of 23 passing, 258, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Ryan Cole, 14 carries, 56 yards. That sounds hauntingly familiar to his play last week, 16 carries, 56 yards.
Right.
So that's right where it's at. Zach Norton, 6 catches. He's been a handful, 134 yards. You and I talked, who's that playmaker going to be for Morningside? Through the first half, Zach Norton seemed to be that guy.
Yeah, and he looks to be the guy that they want to get the ball to in space. Even getting the ball out in the flats, he does a great job of making people miss. He's tough to corral. So he gets those third down conversion catches, and beyond that, he can make those short pass plays, big pass plays with his running ability.
3 catches for 48 yards for Austin Johnson for the Mustangs, and Caleb Schweigert, that is, 2 catches for 19 yards. For the Dordt defenders, Cade McDaniel, 4 of 11 passing, 38 yards, a couple of interceptions. Rushing, Cade McDaniel, 8 carries, 25 yards. Nick Wellen, 5 carries, 29 yards. Chase Tompkins, liked what he did. I thought he had 3 carries. We've got him down for 2. We might have to correct that before the night is over. 2 carries for 23 yards. Ethan Thomas, 2 catches, 25 yards. Jaden Heisman and Hayden Large with 1 catch apiece. For Morningside, a couple of interceptions, one by Isaac Pingle at the goal line, the other by Dion Walls, both with returns of 25 and 20 yards respectively. The highlight for the Dordt defense, I think, Jessup Lakey with that quarterback sack, and other than that, a couple of pass breakups by, they're going to say Jonathan Carter. That's that one where you said it was tipped at the line of or tipped on the pressure, and Chip Casey also with a breakup for the defenders. So we're at halftime. Dordt trailing Morningside 28-0. It was 21-0 after the first quarter. And the Dordt defenders trailing now 28-0. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back to recap what has happened on the Dordt campus in terms of athletics over the last couple of days right after this.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection. Connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Throws it deep. Across the middle. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Sioux Center.
Rosenbaum with a quick pass. That is caught. Nice play. Touchdown, Warriors. Sioux County Radio and the Dordt Media Network will once again bring you every Sioux Center home football game. Sioux Center Warrior football, home and away, broadcast in English on Sioux Ritmo 101.5 FM.
Back at halftime, the Dordt defenders trailing Morningside 28-0. And for the Dordt defenders, my work never ends, Kyle.
There's always something. That's right.
Yeah, we glad to have you along with me on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. And earlier today, the Dordt soccer team traveled to Mankato to take on Bethany Lutheran. They play 90 minutes, scoreless soccer. I don't know much more than that at this point. That's the new rule change in collegiate soccer. No overtimes in the regular season, so 90 minutes, scoreless. And the Dordt defenders will open conference play along with the women this Wednesday when they host the Briarcliff Chargers. For the Dordt volleyball team, we talked about it during the first half. Got down 2-0. Looked like they had a chance in set number 1. That one got away from them. They trailed 2-0. And then they won sets 3 and 4. And set 5, Northwestern able to pull away, got out to a 10-5 lead and ended up winning at 15-9. And that 5-point lead at 10-5, it's awfully hard to come back from that. So the Defender women dropped their third match of the season. They are now, testing my math, 7-3. They played 10 matches. Dordt cross country involved in a match, or I should say a meet. Too many sports and too much terminology, but they ran in a meet yesterday at Brookings, and you had some heavy hitters there. South Dakota State, a very good cross-country program. Sioux Falls, they also have a great distance program and cross-country program. Track and field, they specialize in distance. Cross-country translates well. They were there, as was Northern State, and the Defenders end up in third place, and the men's team ran exceptionally well. They weren't that many points out of second place, and so good things for the Dordt cross-country teams as well. A couple of third-place finishes, and they will be tested again in 2 weeks when they travel to St. Paul, Minnesota to run in the Roy Griak. That's that carnival-like atmosphere in St. Paul, where you end up with about 3 or 4 different divisions, 6 or 8 races, and the Defender cross-country teams and head coach Nate Wolf, they are taking the attitude this year they'll go basically anywhere and run against almost anyone to hopefully be ready to defend their conference crowns when that time comes around in November. So, when you were a college football coach, Kyle, did you pay a lot of attention to the other sports when you were in season, or were you tunneled in?
Yeah, you get pretty focused in on what you're doing. It was a lot of long weeks of prep, and yeah, you might pay attention to what other football teams are doing around the league and around the country, and when you have friends coaching at other places, you're trying to keep up with them. Obviously, you're rooting for the other athletes on campus, but it's hard to keep up real close with everybody else.
Well, I'll be honest, as a sports information director, sometimes it's hard to keep up with everyone as well. Morningside with a kickoff. They're out to the 20, to the 30, to the 35, 40, and brought down at the 41-yard line. And the Morningside Mustangs, great field position to start as Michael Payne runs it out. And the Morningside Mustangs with a 28-0 lead, 14:55 left to go here in the third quarter. And as we were talking up the fact that the Defenders had some good things happen in the second quarter. I'm sure that was a point of emphasis for Morningside coming out here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Morningside became a little bit more deliberate late in the half, taking their time between plays. It'll be interesting to see if they tempo it back up here.
Pass is complete to the far side. That flare pass for Austin Johnson. He is tackled for a loss. Drew Dahm grabs a leg and won't let go, and it's a loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12. Well, they're going to say Abe Stays actually on that tackle. That was number 12 rather than number 13, beg your pardon. And they hand it off to Cole. Cole, the ball carrier, and Cole thrown for a 1-yard loss on the play, and that will set up 3rd down and long. 3rd and long coming for the Morningside Mustangs at their own 39-yard line. So the Dordt defense coming out with a little bit of fire here in the second half. Let's see if they can follow through now and get Morningside a punt. And this is where the danger comes in, Kyle. You're pinning your ears back. You're coming hard. What's Morningside going to do to counter that right here?
Right. You want to stay disciplined on defense. Read your keys.
Dolanchek back to pass. Pass over the middle is complete into Dordt territory. And that's a Morningside first down. So the pass completed over the middle. And you're thinking that it might have hit the ground on the completion to Joshua Simmons.
I'm hoping that we can get a replay on
We'll
that
see if
one,
we get one or not. And if you can, we'd love one from the truck. We'll keep going with the play-by-play of the drive up to this point. Even if you can get it after this play is complete, we'll take it. Joe Dolanchek back to pass. Morningside in Dordt territory. Dolanchek pass underthrown, intended for Zach Norton, and the pass falls incomplete. Here is that play. Let's see if the camera was on it or not.
Yeah, it looks like he got his
caught
arm.
it.
Well, but then his reaction is interesting. You know,
Yeah.
he slaps the ball. So
Well,
a lot of times you look at what the player does at the end of the play, and a lot of times you fake it.
Well, it's the beauty of we'll be able to go home and watch it in slow motion on the Blue Frame archive as well. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Norton, short completion, picks up 7 on the play. It's going to be third down and 3. 13:02 remaining here in the third quarter. Morningside into Dordt territory and now at the 35 after that completion on third down. So it's third down again. Morningside trying to convert.
Yeah, and you got to be thinking 2 downs here. They could take a shot deep, could go back to the run game. Really, their playbook is wide open.
Dolanchek turns, hands, gives to Cole. Cole, the ball carrier, and Cole's into the open field, and that's a touchdown for the Morningside Mustangs. A 35-yard touchdown run for Ryan Cole. And Ryan Cole into the end zone for his first score of the game, his second of the season. And the Mustangs lead it now 34-0, and it goes back to that conversion on third down and long. Getting the ball into Dordt territory. And now Morningside with an opportunity to build on the lead with a point after try coming for Chase Carter. This is Carter's 5th point after try of the day, and it's up and through the uprights, and he is perfect so far this season. 9 for 9 and 5 for 5 today. And the Morningside Mustangs answer the Dordt defenders' challenge with a score on their first drive. We are in the third quarter of play, 12:34 left to go. We'll be back with more from Open Space Park right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
And over end kick taken by Ethan Thomas. Thomas running north and south, and he is brought down inside the 15-yard line, and good coverage that time by the Morningside Mustangs. And the Mustangs make it 35. They lead 35-0 and set Dordt up now for a long drive on their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, we got a little bit too much trying to get outside there by Thomas, and instead of getting upfield, but tough field position to start.
Cade McDaniel, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. McDaniel handoff to Trojan. Anthony Trojan racing to the edge. He's to 30, 35, and driven out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that's a 20-yard pickup on the play for Anthony Trojan. So good field position, better field position now. Dordt at their own 35-yard line. And now I'm doing what I'm watching that replay. I'm going to see, going to slow it up and take a look at it in between plays as well. Handoff, Wellen trying to get to the edge and unable to shake the tackler. Short gain on the play for Wellen, and the tackle by Morningside's Brody Nelson. Nelson on the tackle. And that will bring up 2nd down and long, and we've got a player shaken up for the Dordt defenders. Unable to make out who that
Looks like
is.
Walter Black, I believe.
Ooh, that's not good. Walter, one of those players who's been around for a long time, and now he's going to be attended to by Chris Fagerness, Dordt athletic trainer. And Chris coming out, conversing with Walter. Walter right now seated at the 35-yard line. That senior from Guntersville, Alabama. Regular on the offensive line for the defenders, and Walter is not going to put any weight on that right foot. So that's, hate the injury, and then the reality of now you've got to send somebody into the game to replace him. And it might be Ethan Hoyer. Trying to make out, Walter was on the left side of the line, left guard, I believe.
Yeah, on the 2 deep, it would be Hoyer. And
yeah, I know they're excited about Ethan Hoyer and what he has done. Pitch goes left side to McCoy. And driven out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Beg your pardon, Tompkins. Tompkins on that carry. And Chase Tompkins with another 1st down for the defenders. Chase Tompkins has acquitted himself quite well so far here this evening, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's added another dimension, a little bit more speed, not quite as big, but better speed in the backfield.
Handed off to Tompkins again. Tompkins thought he was going to break one. He's stopped at the 45-yard line of the Morningside Mustangs. Gain of 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. 11-10 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Dordt trailing 35-0. 35-0 our score. It was 21-0 at the end of the 1st quarter. Morningside a little bit of shock and awe as they went over the top and had success there. 2nd down and 7. McDaniel sends a man in motion. That's Jordahl. Handoff up the middle and no gain on the play for Daniel Dickerson. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and long. So loss of 1 on the play for Dickerson. Sets up 3rd down and 8. Anthony Trojan back onto the field. Dordt rotating running backs through. We've seen 4 players carry the football at the running back position for the defenders so far. So 3rd down and 8. Wouldn't be surprised if the defenders are in 4-down territory here. Back to passes, McDaniel. McDaniel pass is complete. And breaking free is Hayden Large to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Stopping at the goal line, bowls his way in. And that's a Dordt University touchdown. Hayden Large stays inbounds and races 46 yards on the pass and completion. McDaniel scrambling that time, was able to find Large. Linnell Boyd actually slipped and fell as he went to make the tackle, and then Large staying inbounds, not leaving anything to chance on another play. Able to get in over the top of Dion Wells. And the Dordt defenders are on the board, and the point after try is up and good for Gunderson. And Fulton Gunderson, his 6th point after try of the season, splits the uprights, and the defenders are on the board. They trail 35-7. Let's take a 1-minute break. You're listening and watching the Dordt Media Network and KIHK. Back with more in a minute. Morningside on the return out to the 35-yard line, and the Morningside Mustangs. Michael Payne on the return, and the Dordt defenders get on the scoreboard against the Morningside Mustangs with Hayden Large on the receiving end. And we felt, after watching a little while, Kyle, that Dordt might have an advantage with that Large matchup.
Well, exactly, and when you get that big body, that 240-pound frame running down the field, there's not a lot of defensive backs that want to take him on, especially down by the goal line, so he's able to finish that play in the end zone.
Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek look over the middle, and the pass falls incomplete. And he motions like he thought the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage, as that falls one of the rare misses, if you will, where there was not a man close to that ball as it fell to the turf, middle of the field, at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to his main target there. And
Zach Norton, maybe?
Norton probably cut the route off a little bit differently than what Dolenchek was hoping. And good for us, bad for them.
Flares it out, right side Johnson. Johnson forced out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. So 3rd and manageable for the Morningside Mustangs. And this is where it can really grind on you. Dort's defense needs to get off the field in this situation. And let's see what they can do facing 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. There's been too many 3rd down conversions. And here's an opportunity for the defense to get off the field.
3rd down and 5. Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek pressured. Throw is intercepted. No, incomplete. Incomplete. Jumping the route. Is that was that Huttinga out there? Lucas Huttinga.
I believe so.
Number 2 tried to jump the route. Forces an incomplete pass. It's 4th down and 5. And this, I like the progress the team has made through the course of this game.
Absolutely. Last, probably full quarter, we're standing toe-to-toe with Morningside.
4th down and 5. Would have loved to have started this one after about the first quarter or so. That'd be a little bit different looking. Ball takes a bounce at the 35-yard line inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. And the Morningside Mustangs will down it there. It's 1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 18-yard line. Dordt trailing 35-7. Done some nice things on offense. Defensively, now I'll be curious with the next series then what Morningside does in response to what Dordt has done on defense. But
yeah, their coaching staff is looking at what's worked and what hasn't, and they're going to have adjustments. So we're going to have to keep adjusting to the flow of the game.
McDaniel on the run, and a shoestring tackle, and saving yardage that time was Weston Schultz, reaching out and diving and just catching Cade McDaniel on the heels. And it's so close, Kyle. I mean,
well,
it's 100 yards by 50 yards, but it comes down to an inch.
It's a game of inches, yes. It's a game of inches, because if he doesn't catch McDaniel's heels, at least it's a positive play. May not have been a huge play, but we'd have been ahead of the sticks.
Instead, it's 2nd down and 13, a loss of 3. Rolling left is McDaniel. McDaniel has some room to run. Gets a block downfield from Heisman and maybe picks up a yard from that line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down and 11. So he gets maybe a yard or two back, and that is it. It's third down and 11.
Yeah, and McDaniel extending the play there. Receivers just need to probably do a little better job of reacting to him and breaking open so he can throw the ball late.
Third down and 11 on the way. Morningside on defense. They've got their 4 down linemen. McDaniel in the gun, has 2 running backs to his right, fakes the handoff, back to pass, pressure applied, takes a shot down the field, and it's tipped into the air. Hayden Large unable to get it. Now we have a flag on the play, and I will be curious what this call is. Go ahead.
The defensive back was not playing the ball at all, and a lot of times that happens on underthrown balls. Receivers trying to come back for it and can't get there.
Judging by Linnell Boyd's reaction, though, he thinks it's going to be an offensive pass interference call possibly. And also judging by John Andreessen's response. So what's the referee? Looks like he's going to go over and confer with the Morningside sideline, and this is going to be against the Dordt defenders, it appears.
Yeah, it's one of those where both guys were trying to come back to the ball. Little hand fighting.
Yep.
Here's the replay.
McDaniel dropped back. Pass was a little underthrown, and Hayden Large. And it was actually Drew Bessie on the coverage. That's going to bring up 4th down, and Dort's going to be forced to punt. Morningside's going to probably get the football in pretty good field position. Line of scrimmage currently 17-yard line. Left-footed kick by Blade Coons, taken at the 47-yard line. And to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, and Gall finally brings him down. And the return by Morningside's, is that Michael Payne again? Yep, Michael Payne on the return. And sets up great field position for the Morningside Mustangs as that ends up being.
Yeah, not great hang time on that particular punt, and gave Morningside a chance to set up the return. Really blocked well.
They got called for a holding penalty, though, in the process.
Well,
but
that's good.
That happened at the, it happened basically where he was tackled. They called the hold, so only ends up being a 10-yard mark off from the 20, so it's 1st and 10 from the 30 now for the Mustangs. Halfway through the third quarter, Morningside leading 35-7, and the Dordt defense, they've been on the field a long time here tonight, and they're back out onto the field once again. Dolenchek with the pitch to Schweigert. Schweigert, positive yardage, picks up 8 on the play, and that's actually going to be ruled a forward pass. That'll be a short pass completion because the pitch is forward, and that ends up being a gain of 7 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 3. 2nd down and 3. Dolenchek directing traffic. Clock continuing to run. 7 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Man in motion left to right for the Mustangs. Seivert back to passes Dolenchek. Dolenchek takes a shot to the end zone, and pass is incomplete. Austin Johnson may have come down with it, but he was out of bounds by the time he had possession. That will set up 3rd down and 3. So Morningside that time, playbook wide open on 2nd and 3. They take a shot to the end zone. Want me to turn the lights on? Will that help you a little bit?
Nah, we're good.
Okay. I hate to see you struggle like that, though.
Yeah, the eyes aren't quite what they used to be.
Well, tell me about it. 3rd down and 3. Yeah, 3rd down and 3. Handoff, Cole. Cole picks up the 1st down. He's at the 20-yard line. At least maybe I was premature. Oh, they're going to call 4th down. So 4th down and short. Stop shy of the goal of the 1st down marker. 6:25 and counting. third quarter. Dordt trailing 35-7. Seibert comes set on the left side. Handoff Cole. Cole, the ball carrier, and Cole. That's going to be close to a first down. It looks like Dordt makes the stop.
Yeah, it looked like we got some good penetration, got to his legs in the backfield and stopped his momentum. Great stop by the defense.
Looked to me like maybe Ian McDonald was in on that stop for the defenders as well, and a couple Morningside players lobbying for a better spot. Didn't get it, and the Dordt defenders will take over now, first down and 10 at their own 21-yard line. First down and 10 at their own 21, trailing 35-7, 6:10 remaining here in the third quarter. So the defenders, first and 10, Cade McDaniel, the quarterback. Misdirection, handoff up the middle. I believe that's Anthony Trojan. And that was Anthony Trojan, number 22, back onto the field. He did not play last week, nursing a nagging injury. 5'8", 200-pounder from Berthoud, Colorado, leading rusher last season. 5:45 left to play. Third quarter, second down and 7. A gain of 3 on the play for Trojan. Misdirection, McDaniel pitches it, ball's on the turf, and Dordt gets on top of it. That had disaster written all over it once it glanced off of the fingertips of the running back. Loss of 7 on the play. It's going to be third down and 15. Third down and 15. Clock continuing to run as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Well, do you take a shot down the field here?
Yeah, don't have much to lose, right?
No.
I mean, we got to try to convert here. Morningside's going to end up in good field position if you don't convert on this third down, so you might as well go for the big play.
If you're punting, you're probably going to give it up at about midfield anyhow. McDaniel takes a shot, and nobody's home. Throws it out past midfield to the 48-yard line, and looked like Eli Bolden may have broken his route off early. And McDaniel aired that one out on the far sideline, and Morningside will get it. First down, or they'll get it back. Their return man, Michael Payne, at about the 43-yard line. At least I'm assuming that's Michael Payne. Nope. Looks like they're pulling the chains on me again. This will be Caleb Schweigert back there. So Michael Payne got some return work. Now Schweigert back there. Coons punting from the 5-yard line. Ball is blocked, and Morningside's, it's either going to be a safety or a touchdown. And it's a touchdown, a blocked punt by the Morningside Mustangs. And the Morningside Mustangs tack on a special teams score with that blocked punt, and they came right up the middle. It was blocked.
Yeah.
It was blocked by 13. And for Morningside, that is Joshua Miller, and then they fell on it in the end zone. Didn't see who finally fell on top of it. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights, and the Mustangs stretching it out now to a 42-7 lead. 42-7 our score. We are in the third quarter, 4:42 left to play in the third. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute. Dordt will get the football back. Unfortunately, it comes after points by the Morningside Mustangs on a block punt, and they fall on top of it in the end zone. Ethan Thomas from the 5 to the 10 to the 15, 20, 25, and brought down at the 30-yard line. And special teams, there was some hitting going on that special teams, and we've got a player shaken up for the defenders.
Yeah, right at the point where Thomas was tackled and probably got rolled up on. Hopefully it's not too serious.
It's either Connor Knopf or Hunter Coyle, I believe. Both wear number 10. At least I think that's number 10. I don't know for certain, but we have a stoppage in play. Chris Fagerness out onto the field attending to the Dordt player who's hurt. Earlier today, Dordt men's soccer in a tie with Bethany Lutheran. 0-0 is how that one ends. And that is number 10, and I am not sure. Hunter Coyle goes 6 foot 205. Connor Knopf goes 5'10", 175.
Probably guessing Connor.
Yep, I'm guessing that as well. That's what it looked like. Not quite as big, but not going to guess any further than that. Didn't put much weight on the leg. All we could make out is that it is indeed number 10, and leave it at that. It's one of those two players listed on our roster, Coyle or Knopf. 1st and 10 for the defenders at their own 30-yard line, and Cade McDaniel, the quarterback. 4:40 left to play, third quarter. Dordt trailing 42-7. Would really love to see the defenders put something together on this drive. Misdirection play, handoff to Trojan. Trojan, the ball carrier. Anthony Trojan picks up 13 yards, and that's a Dordt first down. Heard some whistles. I wondered if there was something, flag on the play, but no signal. So 1st and 10 for the defenders at their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Cade McDaniel. Eli Bolden comes over on the near side slot. I've not been able to get Eli Bolden going in this one either. Hasn't been able to get open, not many targets. Handoff to Trojan. Trojan picks up a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. So Anthony Trojan, low to the ground, able to have some success here. We'll get the statistics at the end of the third quarter. So 2nd down and 9 on the way. Man in motion. That's Jordahl. Handoff. No. Keeping it. Pitch from McDaniel. And not much there for the defenders on the pitch to Jordahl. Jordahl picks up maybe a half yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and long from their own 45-yard line. 3:29 left to play here in the third quarter. Dordt trailing 42-7. Clock continues to move. Player stayed in bounds. McDaniel looks to the sideline. Nick Wellen is behind him. And the pitch, right side. Trojan takes a shot down the field for Bolden, and in and out of the hands of Eli Bolden at the 25-yard line. And the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 8. And Eli Bolden goes up between two defensive players, just simply unable to come down with it.
Yeah, and Bolden does a nice job of adjusting to the ball and coming back to it. Just couldn't come down with it.
4th down and long, and the defenders forced to punt again. Blade Coons has gotten a workout here today. Dan Jungling off of the field late. Coons, the end-over-end kick, takes a Dordt bounce at the 25, inside the 15, and it'll roll dead at about the 11-yard line. And that is where Morningside will take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 11 with 2:52 left to go in the third quarter.
By far, Morningside's worst starting field position here, so hopefully the defense can take advantage of that.
1st down and 10. Football at the 11-yard line. Earlier today, the Dordt volleyball team on the short end of a 3-2 decision with Northwestern as well in Orange City. They'll be off until next weekend when they resume play. Handoff, and not much there for the ball carrier. That's Bryson Freeberg. Freeberg, short gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Freeberg on the carry. Gall jogging onto the field. Coming off will be Colton Vanderberg. So Colton Vanderberg makes his way to the sideline. Back to pass is Dolenchek. Dolenchek to Norton. Norton, nothing there. And the tackle made by Dordt's Grant Hickson. And that'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 11. So 3rd down and long for the Mustangs. Last time Dordt had Morningside in this position. Morningside able to get a pass completion over the middle. See if the Dordt defense can get off of the field. Dolenchek directing traffic. He's got 10 seconds on the play clock. Well, nobody's in the spot he wants them. Tuafua coming on the blitz. Dordt puts pressure on. Dolenchek scrambling, and Dolenchek, not much there. And a little bit physical there as...
Yeah, the ball came squirting out late.
Yep.
Way after the Dolenchek was down, but nice stop.
Yep.
Nice stop.
Dolenchek with the scramble and picks up a couple of yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 8. And the Morningside, I think it was an offensive lineman, saw his quarterback in a little bit of trouble and made certain that Ian McDonald wasn't going to get a good lick on him. 4th down and 8. Dordt should get the football in good field position here. McEllicott with the punt, and it'll take a Morningside bounce at the 40, and it was touched by a Morningside player.
It was
back here at the 41-yard line.
Touching there, better field position than where the...
I think it's actually the referee that saw it. Well, no. Yeah,
they're the beanbag down here.
Yeah. I mean, that was clearly at the 41-yard line, and well, they're not going to quite agree with me. They're going to say the 49, but or pardon me, 44. So it's 1st down and 10 for the defenders. Sometimes you do have a better angle from up here. I mean,
Yep. Yeah, their officials are running backwards. A lot happening in front of them, but thankfully they did see the first touching. A lot of times the returner should, take a chance in that situation. Maybe try to grab the ball and sneak out a good return.
Cade McDaniel back to pass, pressured and brought down. 6-yard loss on the play. Looking down the field, Ethan Thomas double covered. Eli Bolden had a man close to him as well. And over on the far side, Jaden Heisman, he was just too far from the play. Cade McDaniel probably not going to be able to make that throw.
Yeah, just a 3-receiver route, so you hope to have more protection. The downside of that is then linebackers see those extra guys blocking, and they end up in the backfield as well.
42-7, Morningside with the lead. McDaniel hands it off. And nothing there that time for the defenders and Daniel Dickerson, and that's going to bring the 3rd quarter to an end. Dordt with the football at their own 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 17 when we resume play in the 4th quarter of action. 42-7, Morningside leads. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more from Sioux Center right after this. Dordt with the football, third down and 17 near the midfield stripe. They hand it off. Anthony Trojan lowers his head, runs over one tackler, runs over a second, and is brought down at the 35-yard line. And Anthony Trojan, with an inspired run, picks up 16 yards. He needed 17 and sets up fourth down and short. Fourth down and short, 1 yard to go. Start of the fourth quarter. So Anthony Trojan, low to the ground run. Let's see if the defenders can convert here. Handoff, and that's enough for a Dordt University first down. To the 30-yard line, and the mass of humanity continues to move. And the Dordt offensive line playing bully ball that time on the handoff to number 13, Tompkins. Chase Tompkins with another first down for the defenders.
Yeah, a little rugby scrum there at the end of the play, and picked up another 5 yards.
5 or 6 yard gain on the play. That's that left side of the offensive line for the defenders. And Cade McDaniel the carrier, and Cade inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. And you and I talked about this, that even though the final result may be decided, you got to keep playing because Morningside will not take their foot off of the gas.
Right, and honestly, they're a little bit limited. Whenever you're on the road, you can't take your full roster.
Right.
So you're a little bit limited with what they can even do with substitutes. So, and they've just, they work on their thing. So they're going to keep playing.
Nick Wellen inside the 5. And the Dordt defenders now with a 9-yard gain on the play. It's going to be second down and short. By the way, guess how many players Morningside has on their roster? The initial roster I got on Monday. Guess what it was?
Oh, it got to be in the 120s.
160.
160.
160. That's what I'm working with tonight.
Well, they didn't travel.
No, they didn't take them all. Handoff goes to Anthony Trojan. Trojan the carry, and Trojan inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line, and the defenders knocking on the doorstep. And it's going to be
fresh set of downs too.
Yep, fresh set of downs. First down and goal to go, and we'll call it. You said your eyes aren't so great, but I'm going to say about the 2-yard line. First and goal to go from the 2. Scoreboard says 1. Handoff Trojan, and Trojan. A lot of bodies falling there at the goal line.
Yeah, there's just there's a lot of weight inside the tackles there.
Yeah, when you take a look, and I think the lightest person on the line is 260, and that's our All-American Alex Heisman. Beyond that, and then defense matches up quite nicely with that. Morningside, they've got some bulk up front as well. Second and goal to go from the 1. McDaniel is going to run option, the left side, gets a seam. He's into the end zone. Touchdown defenders on the 1-yard touchdown run by Cade McDaniel, and the defenders make it 42-13. 42-13 our score. Pending the point after try by Fulton Gunderson. So Fulton Gunderson with the point after try coming here. 12 minutes left to play in the game. Have I mentioned I would have liked a touchdown or 2 in the first half?
That would have made a huge difference.
Gunderson splits the uprights, and Dordt leads 42-14. We're through all our breaks, so we're going to keep it right here.
Think about those last 2 series, right? We force Morningside into their worst starting field position. Defense comes up with a nice stop, forces the punt. We actually start with much better field position than what we've had all night. What's the result? We get the stop.
Yep.
Offense has some momentum, has a little life in their drive, and we march right down the field and end up in the end zone.
And the Dordt offensive line, they have done a pretty good job blocking, and the run game in the last 2.5 quarters has been pretty good.
Yeah, they really have, and it is a strength of this unit. Offensively, probably have the most experience of any group right up front, and yeah, and then you have experienced running backs like Trojan and some young guys coming up doing some good things. Good mixture of inside and outside run. And, McDaniel made some really good decisions there and kept that drive going. Ended up in the end zone.
Now I'm cheating and using the outside light. Anthony Trojan, 8 carries, 50 yards through 3 quarters. Nick Wellen, 6 for 33, and Chase Tompkins, 6 carries for 42 yards. And Dordt, 145 yards on the ground. Morningside, 128. Dordt, 84 yards passing. Morningside, 292. So you take away that big first start by Morningside, and I get it. That's part of the game. That's part of
and as part of their game. They're
right.
A big play team, but you're right. If you force them to really sustain drives rather than the 3 big long pass plays, and this thing looks a lot different. Now Morningside just took a timeout as Dordt was lining up for an onside kick. So will we see an onside kick here, or will we kick it deep? A lot of times
pooch one up and go 20 yards or so.
You bet. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen here. A lot of times teams will line up that way to force the return team to make some personnel changes. Now might not be a bad thing to kick it, not necessarily all the way deep, but over top of the first 2 lines here, and
funny
get
things,
that thing bouncing around.
Funny things happen about 35 and 40 yards down the field. I've seen that so many times. And by the way, that timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. They're a Dordt Media Network. They're a Dordt Media Network sponsor. They hopped on right away, and we'll give them that freebie on KIHK tonight. And Digital Plus, beg your pardon, Wireless World. Wrong cellular company. I knew I was going to do that. Those live mentions from memory, not nearly as good. Onside kick, and it's loose and picked up by Morningside, and I don't think it went the necessary 10 yards either. Now we have a flag on the play.
We're getting some talking going on at the end of that play, but it didn't go 10 yards, but as soon as
Morningside player touched it.
Yep, then you can get a free shot on him and hopefully draw it out. He took exception to that a little bit. I think there was Little John. I'm not sure what side's going to get the penalty.
I'm betting offsetting. Well, that's my one time to be wrong today. So it's a penalty against the defenders. That's going to be against number 2 for the Morningside Mustangs. And that was Caleb Schweigert. Schweigert called for the unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to cost his team 15 yards. And those are the kind I would imagine as a coach where you say it didn't have to happen.
Right, yeah. He was emotional. I mean, he made a nice play on the ball, took a shot, took exception to that.
And that's going to come. I mean, handoff. Goes to Bryson Freeberg. By that I mean in that play you are going to get hit.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of people around the ball trying to get to it. There are times you just got to walk away.
Yep.
But
easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. Emotions get the best of all of us sometimes.
2nd down and 8 for the Mustangs. They're at their own 43-yard line, and they're going to milk the clock here. They're going to take some time, and this is what you do when you're up 42-14.
Well, yeah, and honestly, it's something that I'm sure Coach Ryan and his offensive staff are talking about. They have to be able to move the ball slowly because they're going to need to at some other time during the season. So you got to work on some things that, their comfort zone is tempoing things up and making a lot of plays in a short amount of time, but you got to be able to slow it down.
Let's take a 30-second break on KIHK. Back with more right after this. This timeout is brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll keep it right here until KIHK rejoins us as the Dordt Media Network and KIHK again this year. We are simulcasting many of those broadcasts that you previously heard back when Dordt Athletics was on KDCR, women's volleyball, football, And men's and women's basketball right now scheduled to be mostly on KIHK as well. Kyle Achterhoff and myself, Mike Biker, on hand for this Dordt versus Morningside GPAC football game. Second down and 8. 11:14 left to go in the ball game. Pass over the middle is complete, and he's got a seam, and he's upended. Coming up to make the tackle is Dan Jungling the safety, coming up to make the play on Michael Payne, and that brings up first down for the Mustangs. First down and 10 for the Mustangs at the Dordt 43-yard line. What a crowd for tonight's contest, Kyle. Bleachers are full over here.
This is the way it's supposed to be, right? Your home crowd shows up to support this Dordt Defender football team, and hopefully this continues throughout the season.
They were tailgating out in the Grove earlier this afternoon. Actually, I had to make a stop on campus this morning, and there were some folks out there at 10, 11 o'clock this morning already playing some bags and things like that. Handoff goes to Bryson Freeberg. Freeberg, a short gain on the play. It's going to set up second down and 5. 10:20 left to play in the contest. Dordt's on the road next week at Mitchell, South Dakota. Back home in 2 weeks. I'll get you who that opponent is here shortly. I don't have the football schedule memorized. I mean,
me either.
It may surprise people, but I don't have all of the schedules memorized. I go day to day.
You have a few things going on.
Well, I go day to day, Kyle. I mean, that's what I am, day to day. Second down and 5. Handoff, Freeberg. Short gain on the play, maybe picks up 1. It's going to be second down and 4. Second down and 4, whistle comes, play stops. It's second down and 4 yards to go, under 10 minutes to go. Maybe that should be my new nickname, day to day.
Day to day biker. All right, we got it.
Third down and 4. We have a player shaken up. Is that Sam Andrews? It is. Senior from Huxley, Iowa. And he comes off favoring that right foot. Hopefully that's nothing serious with Sam. I had the opportunity this week to actually interview Sam Andrews. Going to use that next week on our broadcast at Mitchell, South Dakota. We'll have it at halftime, and also we'll get it posted on our website as well. Sam, a colorful individual from Huxley. I asked him about the flowing hair out of the back of the helmet as well, and all those hard-hitting questions. Ask him how he ended up at Dordt from Huxley, Iowa as well. So an interesting story, and we'll get to that next week, but he's shaken up. Looks like he's nothing serious, and that's good to see. He's walking it off on the sideline. Third down and 4, Dallin check, handoff, and Cole stuffed on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Fourth down and 4. Line of scrimmage is the 37.
Yeah, it's kind of that spot where
no man's land.
Yeah, you'll see Morningside going for it here.
You kick it out of bounds. You shank one and you end up netting 12 yards or whatever. You kick it into the end zone. You net 17.
Right.
Probably just go for it, especially when you're up to 42-14.
Right, and they're going to milk the clock here.
Yep.
Use the entire play clock and run a play, and they're hoping to pick it up. Dort's looking to make the stop.
Tuafua on the right side. Pump fake by Dallin under pressure. Pass is caught at the 10, 5, and into the end zone, touchdown. Morningside takes a shot down the field, and I believe that's Zach Norton again on the receiving end. And Zach Norton, a 42-yard pass catch as the Dordt defenders allow the touchdown on the fourth down play. And Morningside now with a point after coming. The kick by Chase Carter on the way. And Chase Carter trying to make it a 49-14 ball game. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. And the Mustangs, Chase Carter now 7 of 7 on point after tries. And the Mustangs extend their lead to 49-14. Let's take a 1-minute break on the Dordt Media Network and KIHK FM. 7:57 left to go in the contest. Morningside Mustangs tack on another touchdown. Short kick taken by Jordahl at the 19-yard line to the 20, 25, and driven backwards at the 27-yard line. And that is where Dordt will start this drive, 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. The Dordt defenders trailing 49-14, and I'll be curious when we go back and look at this one. I don't know if I'll do it yet tonight, but 4th down plays for Morningside resulting in drives extended or scores. There have been a few of them here tonight as they've executed on 4th down.
Yeah, and Zach Norton just did a good job of coming back to the ball, a little bit underthrown, kind of that back shoulder type of throw, and made a play on the ball.
Eli Bolden out to the 32-yard line, and the short completion on the right side, actually that long handoff that we talk about where the receiver just takes a step back from the line of scrimmage, gets the pass, and then picks up 6 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, nice to see Bolden getting involved here. He's going to be an important player down the road.
2nd down and 4. Handoff. And with the carry is Daniel Dickerson. Dickerson with the carry. That's going to bring up 1st down for the defenders. 1st and 10 for the defenders, past the midpoint of the 4th quarter. Well, the Morningside Mustangs, after this one's complete, they're going to go, played Northwestern last week. Dordt really matching them physically in a lot of ways. McDaniel back to pass, gets it completed over to Tompkins. Tompkins with the grab at the 48-yard line, the 49. And I like what we have seen from that freshman, Chase Tompkins. Tompkins, 5'10", 180 pounds from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. He's given the Dordt defenders a little different looking dimension. I don't know that he played last week. I don't recall him playing against Briar Cliff last week.
A little bit of a spark. Somebody who's going to come in and make some plays.
Handoff to Tompkins. Tompkins gains 3 on the play. I thought he was going to be stopped dead to rights, and he ends up picking up 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, even that play, Mike, he's hitting the backfield, but he ends up making 3 yards on the play. And, just a good, tough little run.
If nothing else, he gives you got to look at him a little more in practice this week.
Absolutely. He's earning extra playing time.
2nd down and 7 for the defenders. In Morningside territory at the 49. Back to pass is McDaniel. McDaniel takes a shot over the top. Eli Bolden, and he got held on the play. They're not going to call it, though.
Come on now. I mean.
That happened right in front of him. That happened right in front of the official. Certainly looked like Eli Bolden trying to make a play on the ball. Got held as he tried to come back. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 now.
Yeah. And if that's on the Dordt sideline, we might get that call, but it's on Morningside sideline. A little bit more hesitant to throw the flag.
3rd down and 7. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. It's the Morningside 49-yard line. Man motions out of the backfield. Back to pass is McDaniel. McDaniel pressured, and down he goes. Loss of 7 on the play. Cade McDaniel tackled by Weston Schultz for a quarterback sack, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 14, and the defenders don't see the punt team on the field yet. They're going to go for it here. 4th and 14 at their own 44-yard line, 5:40 remaining. And what did we say earlier? Nothing to lose at this point.
Right. Yeah, you just wanted to get a positive play there on 3rd down, make this 4th down.
4th down and 2 or 3 is a lot different than 14, obviously. McDaniel turns, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll right. Pass is complete, but short of the 1st down to Eli Bolden. Bolden brought down short of the 1st down by a couple of yards, and Dordt will turn it over. 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 44-yard line, 5:17 remaining here in the contest, and that will just about do it. We'll see if the defenders get it back. We'll see how Morningside handles this. Are they going to keep it on the ground, or do they take a shot over the top again? New quarterback in, it appears. This will be Luke Johansson. And Luke Johansson, I am curious. I didn't look closely enough on the roster. Back to Johansson, hands it off, nothing there. And a loss on 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, and you see other subs in the game for Morningside at the receiver positions.
Johansson from Bellevue, Nebraska as well. So is Dolenchek. So I'm wondering, somewhere in the 160 players, I didn't check if they went to the same high school,
Right.
I guess is what I'm saying. But he's listed as the backup for the Mustangs. Luke Johansson, 6'2", 200 pounds, in the gun. And hands it off. No gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Morningside taking their time. They can take it under 4 minutes here on this play. Bryson Freeberg comes in from the sideline for the Mustangs. Dordt personnel changes as well on 3rd down and 11. Guess I would be surprised here if Morningside doesn't go to the air on 3rd and 11, but we will see. About the time I try to do my mind reading, things go awry. 3rd and 11. Morningside back to pass. Pressure applied by the defenders, and down he goes. Drew Dom with the quarterback sack of Luke Johansson. So Dom with the quarterback sack. The 2nd time Dordt has gotten to the Morningside quarterback here this evening. And Dordt will get the football back. Coming on to return the punt will be Evan Jordahl. And the Mustangs forced to punt.
Yeah, good time to dial up some pressure. I'm sure Morningside had some new offensive linemen in the game as well, and probably not as adept to
Not as
picking up
seasoned.
the pressure, and opened up well to get the sack.
Justin McElcott, the punter, spiraling kick. Jordahl lets it bounce, and this is going to take a Morningside roll down to the 20, inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. That's about a 49-yard punt on the play.
And about a 29-yard roll.
Yep. Well, you take it any way you can get it. And now the Dordt defenders will send the offense back onto the field. Checking to see if Walter Black is back out there. I don't see number 78. No, he's sitting on the table, yeah. Helmet is off. McDaniel, your quarterback. McDaniel hands it off Dickerson. Dickerson, the ball carrier. Dickerson picks up 4 on the play. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. Well, not the outcome we wanted, obviously. Hoping for a tight game like the last 2 have been with the Morningside Mustangs. Not to be, but we've seen some nice things, I think, from this defender team. Defensively, I think they're a team that's really going to give some opponents some trouble as this year goes along. McDaniel scrambling, and Cade goes, I beg your pardon. Yep, we've got Colson Cruz, a freshman, in the game. So thanks for catching that. I saw that just as we mentioned that Colson Cruz goes airborne, and that's what you don't want to have happen. But he picks up a 1st down in the process.
Freshman will learn from that.
Well, you either learn or you don't survive. Handoff, and there he goes. He's to the midfield, to the 40, to the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. Touchdown defenders. A touchdown run, Brendan Piper. Piper from New Prague, Minnesota, the freshman.
Another freshman.
He races the 60 yards plus for the touchdown. And the Dordt defenders make it a 49-20 ball game pending the point after try. So Piper able to take advantage of the breakdown up front. And once he got through the line of scrimmage, he was off to the races. Piper played last week against Briarcliff, had some positive yardage. Snap is down, kick is up, and Gunderson splits the uprights. And the Dordt defenders trail at 49-21 with 2:01 left to play in the contest. Morningside will be receiving the kickoff when we're back at Open Space Park in 30 seconds.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced.
You're listening to KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. It's one of those blood moons tonight. A little bit of a pink tinge to it as you see that shot on high def on the Dordt Media Network. Glad to have you along with me. And Kyle, you made an interesting comment. Colson Cruz, the freshman, won a state title last year. As we were coming back from break, you made the comment offhandedly almost, he's a winner. Well, that matters, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And you see it in the whole recruiting process. You want good players, no matter where they come from, right? But guys that are used to winning, it becomes a habit. And he's won a lot of ball games in the past in high school, and hopefully he can bring that attitude and that process here to Dordt University.
Onside kick attempt. Flag comes out as the ball trickles up towards the 45-yard line, and I am not sure what the flag was because I don't think anyone touched the ball.
No.
Now, is there something with a block or a hit that happened? The Dordt.
Yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see if we can queue up. If we have a replay of that, that'd be fun to watch because I didn't think anybody touched the ball.
Certainly didn't look like it from our vantage point. Now, here's the replay, and you see nobody touched it.
Unless they're calling that.
Did you impede the other player from I don't know.
Yeah, we blocked, but I didn't think that was illegal.
No. Well, based on what I saw last week, there was a college game where 3 guys on the got laid out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the return man, but that was the offense initiating it, the receive team. So here we are. We don't know. Here we're going to find out.
Okay.
So we're going to do another onside kick is what it amounts to, 5 yards back. And now my question is, how far up the field does it have to happen before you can block?
Right.
Joel Penner, I believe, probably asking a similar question on the sideline. Joe Kenny, the special teams coordinator, also asking for an explanation.
Yeah, I think they're if there's a way to challenge in college football, you're seeing it by the Dordt coaching staff right now.
Joe, the body language was just drop the head and walked away, and I've seen that posture before from a lot of different coaches over a lot of different years. And what was it you said? They don't change their call?
Not very often. Yeah, I don't see it changing here.
No.
I think they're trying to justify or explain more clearly to Coach Penner what's legal, what's not. I don't understand, I guess, the blocking by the kick team.
Yeah.
When the receiving team can block.
Yep.
So
now we're going to have a 15-yard penalty here. Yeah, saw that one coming in all likelihood.
Yeah, and now with
going to be back at the 20-yard line kicking off. You're probably not going to see an onside kick at this point.
No, I think it'd be wise to probably kick it as deep as possible now. And
so,
yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. You see Morningside celebrating that, and yeah, coach is just looking for an explanation, trying to figure out what exactly happened. We know Coach Penner well enough that he's not challenging anything other than, what is the rule. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that finally it was just a matter of too much time has gone by and the official is going to end the discussion right there with that 15-yard penalty. Now Dordt will be kicking off. I said from the 20. I was wrong. It said back at the 15. I forgot to factor in the 5 yards on the first penalty. So, Dordt will be kicking off. Return men for Morningside at midfield. And Jordan Van Veldhuizen actually lining up like they're still going to kick an onside kick. Now we have a timeout on the field. So a timeout on the field. Let's take a break. We'll send it back to KIHK for 1 minute. This timeout is brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. I think we are through our breaks on the Dordt Media Network, so we will keep it right here. And at this point, with 2:01 remaining, we're ready for this one to wrap up. And the next broadcast on the Dordt Media Network will be this Wednesday. The Dordt soccer team's in action as they will be hosting Briar Cliff. That'll be a 5 o'clock start time for the women and about a 7:15 start time for the men. And then we'll be back on the air next Saturday on the Dordt Media Network audio channel and KIHK as the Defenders face Dakota Wesleyan in Mitchell. Just going through the schedule, and the Dordt Defenders will be in Mitchell next week for a 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll have that for you on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network audio channel. And we will also have volleyball on the Dordt Media Network on Saturday afternoon as the Defenders host Jamestown. End-over-end kick taken near the midfield stripe, and Linnell Boyd with the catch. Fair catch called for. And Morningside will take it first down and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 2:01 remaining in the contest, and Morningside will have it. We saw them turn it over, forced to punt on their last possession.
Looks like they're
yeah, it looks like victory formation to me. Or they're just packing it in double tight. Handoff up the middle and right in between the tackles. Carry by Bryson Freeberg. Short gain on the play. It'll be second down and 8, a gain of 2. They'll take it down near the 1:15 mark. Defenders with 2 timeouts remaining. Morningside with 1. I would be shocked if either team used a timeout at this point. So second down and 7 after a gain of 3 officially. 1:25 left to play. Dordt trailing 49-21. And they turn and hand it off to Freeberg again. Freeberg at the midfield stripe to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the play. And that'll do it. It's first down, and now Morningside can take victory formation if they so choose. Luke Johansson, the quarterback. And it looks like it'll be victory formation for the Mustangs. 1 minute to go. They need to snap it here. They snap it. They'll snap near the 42nd mark, so they'll have to snap it one more time. Johansson eyeing the clock. He's under center and takes a knee, and that'll do it. That's it. Final score. Morningside 49, Dordt 21. Great Plains Athletic Conference football opener, home opener for the Defenders. Morningside goes to 2-0, while the Dordt Defenders slip to 1-1 in league play. Let's take a 2-minute break. And we'll be back with a recap of tonight's contest. And we will set the table for next week. Right after this, you're listening to KIHK FM, Rock Valley, and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in 2 minutes.
Here at Dordt University, We have tremendous support from the local community and from Defender Nation across the country. The Defender Gold Club is a byproduct of that support and enables our student athletes to perform at the highest level.
As a Defender Gold Club member, you are helping our athletes pursue championships while also helping them grow physically, mentally, spiritually, and academically.
The Defender Gold Club supports the university's mission by equipping student athletes to strive for excellence in all areas of life while having a transforming experience in athletics.
Join us in supporting the growth of our student athletes through joining the Gold Club and making a gift that supports scholarships, team trips, or facility enhancements.
We invite Defender Nation to support our athletes and become a Defender Gold Club member.
Partner with us in supporting all sports or sport of your choice. Your support makes a difference. Join the Defender Gold Club today.
People like you help us believe in a bold future for Dordt University athletics. Thank you, and go Defenders.
Go Defenders!
Throws it deep. Across the middle. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Sioux Center.
Rosenbaum with a quick pass. That is caught. Nice play. Touchdown, Warriors. Sioux County Radio and the Dordt Media Network will once again bring you every Sioux Center home football game. Sioux Center Warrior football, home and away, broadcast in English on Sioux Ritmo 101.5 FM. Back at Open Space Park in Sioux Center as we wrap things up, and we've got some highlights on the Dordt Media Network and some scoring recaps to go through. So let's cue those highlights as we get set for our post-game wrap. And this is the run by Cole, and Ryan Cole, a 35-yard touchdown run. That was the first score, and that made it 35-0 Morningside. Dordt responded. Cade McDaniel, a pass completion to Hayden Large, and Hayden Large gets Dordt on the board. That was a 46-yard touchdown pass completion that capped a 6-play, 86-yard drive and made it 35-7 at the time. Joe Dolenchek, though, pretty challenging to contain this evening, and he found Zach Norton on a couple different occasions for scores, and Zach Norton with another touchdown, and then Dordt capping their scoring effort with the touchdown run by Brendan Piper. And the Dordt defenders end up on the losing end of a 49-21 decision. Here's the scoring recap. Joe Dolenchek, a pass completion to Zach Norton for 30 yards, made it 7-0, 10:33 left to go in the first quarter. With 5:04 left to go in the first quarter, it was 14-0 after Dolenchek completed a pass to Austin Johnson for 41 yards. And then 3.5 minutes later, Dolenchek again to Sion Tuafua, make it 21-0 on an 11-yard touchdown pass. Dolenchek found Norton again for 52 yards to make it 28-0 with 12:48 left to go in the half, and it was scoreless football from there on out in the first half. But Dordt, in that second quarter, did get some momentum back. Cade McDaniel completed a pass to Hayden Large after that Ryan Cole 35-yard touchdown run for Morningside. McDaniel completed the pass to Large for 46 yards, 35-7 the score. And the defenders made it 35-13. A touchdown, it was 42-13 after the blocked punt. Cade McDaniel made it 42-14 with a 1-yard touchdown run.
to cap a 9-play, 44-yard drive, and then Joe Dolenchek, another pass completion to Norton for 37 yards, and Brendan Piper, 71-yard touchdown run to cap the scoring, making it 49-21 the final. Before we get to the individual numbers, Kyle, we talked about it a lot during the broadcast, but there were some good things that happened for the Defenders tonight, but one of those things wasn't the start. You just can't afford to allow, you can't spot Morningside 3 scores early in the first quarter.
Exactly, Mike. They're just too good of a football team to try to fight from behind. And Dordt's going to look at film and they're going to talk about big plays, right? If you avoid the big plays, giving up the big plays, that just allows you to stay in the game. And when you're playing the number 1 team in the country, the defending national champs, everything that goes along with playing Morningside, you can't give up the big ones. You have to make some big plays, and we did that down the stretch and got a little momentum back. But that's going to be an emphasis, I'm sure, in defensive meetings, is staying over the top and not giving up the big pass plays.
We talked about the fact that we weren't sure Morningside had the rushing offense that they had in years past. They acquitted themselves pretty decently, though, tonight. I would say 36 rushes, 136 yards. Dordt, 50 rushes, 281 yards. Obviously, those get skewed a little bit with some late runs and things like that, but Morningside had just enough in their rushing offense to force you to stay honest.
Yeah, and the reality is they don't need a dynamic run game. They need an efficient run game because they do so much and do so well throwing the ball when you have an experienced quarterback like they have. He's your man. They're going to run the ball when they need to, well enough to open up other aspects of the pass game and enough to keep you honest, and then they're going to make big plays throwing the ball.
Team stats: Morningside 20 first downs, Dordt 21. Rushing, Dordt 281, Morningside 136. Passing, Morningside 343, Dordt 112, and that is something that the Defenders will need to be better at as the season goes along, especially against better teams.
Exactly. I know Coach Penner wants to have a little bit more balance there. Loves to run the ball, and we run the ball really well. But if we get more efficient and can throw the ball with a little bit more efficiency for more yardage each game, that's just going to open up the run game more and allow for that better balance. And you want to be able to hit on some big pass plays, and we had a couple tonight, one for a touchdown, and that's what you need to be a really, really good offense is a little bit more balance there, and being able to throw it when you need to.
Morningside's Joe Dolenchek, 23 of 35 passing, 343, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, got sacked once tonight. That's probably a poorer pass completion than he averages at 66%. He's around 70% normal. I mean, this is, I don't want to say a whole hum average game, but this is what they've come to expect.
Absolutely, and he's returning National Player of the Year, and probably the favorite to repeat there. And
well, he's done nothing in the first 2 weeks to say he's not going to.
Exactly, yeah. GPAC Player of the Week last week, and another big performance tonight. But that's what they've come to expect from him, and he expects it from himself. He has high expectations for himself, so it's not a surprise. You just hope to be able to contain him a little bit.
9 catches for Norton, 176 yards. Johnson, 5 catches for 51 yards. Those are their leaders. Cole, 19 carries for 92 yards for the Morningside Mustangs. For the Dordt Defenders, hoping I can, well, that one went dead on me, so let's take a look at this. Make sure that I'm looking at the game stats. Cade McDaniel, 8 of 18, 112 yards. I'm not sure that one's right. Yep, this is the final, 49-21. So Cade, 8 of 18, 112 yards. Rushing, Anthony Trojan, 11 carries, 69 yards. Brendan Piper, 1 for 71. Chase Tompkins, 8 for 56. I thought he was really a bright spot for the defenders on offense. Ethan Thomas, 2 catches, 25 yards. Hayden Large, 2 catches, 53 yards. Eli Bolden, 2 catches for 18 yards. So there were some bright spots on offense for the defenders. Just need to have a little bit more balance as they move forward through the season. It's just week 2. There's 8 games to go, and there's a lot of progress and a lot of diversity that can happen as this season progresses.
Yeah, a lot to build on, without a doubt, and it'll be. I know they'll be anxious to get back on the practice field next week and anxious to play next weekend, but a lot of good things to build on. Not the outcome, obviously, that Coach Penner and his staff or any of us want, but a lot to build on.
Drew Dahm, a sack for the defenders. Jessup Lakey, a sack for Dordt as well. Dordt does not force a turnover via fumble or interception. Morningside forced 2 fumbles, both by interception, one from Isaac Pingle at the goal line. That one hurt, and Dion Walls had an interception as well for the Mustangs as they do what championship-type teams do, and that is they were punting. When their drives didn't end in a score, they were punting. They weren't turning it over.
Yeah, you want to end every series with a kick, whether it's an extra point, a field goal, or a punt. That's the goal of every offense. And, Morningside, they don't do a lot to beat themselves.
Well, I think we've beat this one up about as much as we need to. I think it's time to go home, Kyle. Again, a pleasure. Thank you for helping out. Greatly appreciate your insight, and see you again in a couple weeks.
For sure.
Or you got a road trip planned to some big college game somewhere?
Not. I think I'm doing that on the bye week.
Okay. Well, you'll tell me about that more as I live vicariously through you and your travels. But again, thank you, Kyle Achterhoff. Thank you to the Dordt Media Network for their bang-up work once again. Nathan Brook back at the KIHK studios. Pleasure again to work with you, and that's going to do it for our broadcast. Once again, our final score, the Dordt Defenders drop one to the Morningside Mustangs, 49-21. For all those folks, I'm Mike Biker. Good evening.